Greetings, pro wrestling fans, and thank you for joining us at the Pro Wrestling Look Back podcast. I'm Nick, and I'm sitting here with...
It's me.
The only one?
The only one. Turn that up. Give me some more of that. Show some love. Oh, yeah. I got it all. Just in case you didn't know, it's the theme song of the one Billy Gunn.
Oh, fuck. I was pretty reluctant to do this for the start of the show, but it might have to stick. This might have to be the one.
That's the one.
You want to start it out?
Yeah. It's natural.
Well, thanks for joining us at the Pro Wrestling Look Back.
Sorry, wait. You're sitting here with the one, Donovan. Donovan.
Yeah, I guess you had to cut me off. That's fair.
Had to give you
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, so thanks for joining us again, Pro Wrestling Look Back, like I said. Don't forget to check us out on Twitter at PW LookBack, Instagram as well, PW LookBack. The email is prowrestlinglookback at wordpress.com, or at gmail.com, sorry.
Yeah.
And the website is prowrestlinglookback.wordpress.com. Let us know all the stuff there, and yeah. Thanks for tuning in to the show, and we're going to be looking back tonight at Armageddon 2000. Kind of the major point with this show was the six-man Hell in a Cell, but we figured we'd start it with a little Billy Gunn. I don't know why, but...
It's a fun song.
Yeah, I don't know I don't know. Let's get into it here. Like I said, thanks for joining us. And yeah, Armageddon 2000 took place December 10th, 2000. It was from Birmingham, Alabama.
Sweet home, Alabama.
Fuck. All right. It was, yeah, like I said, it was Birmingham, Alabama. The attendance was 14,920. It was at the Birmingham Jefferson Civic Center. I can't say I'm too familiar with that arena.
I'm not. No.
I got to be honest. But I don't know. How did you, before I go into the rest of our intro stats of the show, give me some first up pointers, major points, anything from this show that you think is worth talking about before we really dive in.
Well, I found it interesting. We talked about earlier how this was the only show they'd ever done there, pay-per-view wise. I think.
Yeah, it said the only. That was a credit to the good old Wikipedia. Yeah. Credit to them, but it was the only show that was ever done out of Alabama.
That was interesting.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected that, but at the same time, Alabama did seem like a I don't know, a little out of nowhere.
Yeah.
When I read that for the first time, so not completely out of left field, I guess.
Yeah. It was, I think, watching it back when I was younger, I probably enjoyed it a little more. Not that I didn't like it, but it's just like, it was nothing too...
It didn't live up to what you remembered, or...?
It was just fun for nostalgic reasons. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I don't know if I said it yet, but definitely this is the first time I've seen the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, never watched this pay-per-view before, never seen any of the matches. I did know the result of the main event, which we'll get to probably in an hour or so, maybe a little bit longer. I don't know. We'll see how the show goes, but yeah, I definitely hadn't seen the show, and it was fun to watch. I like watching them as a whole, as we've been doing here at the Look Back, rather than just going back and watching single matches.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of gives you a better feel for how the whole night went.
Whole era.
Exactly, and era, and... Shout out to the motorcycles once again. Wouldn't be the Pro Wrestling Look Back without the motorcycles
Spark
outside.
plug Bob Holly, maybe.
Alabama's
own.
But yeah, so speaking of that, the theme song for the show was Sweet Home Alabama. It was a WWF remix, Jim Johnson. We tried to get that for the start, but Don convinced me on getting the old Billy Gunn, so we figured that would be better, I guess. And yeah, the tagline was, Lord, I'm coming home to you. Did they even fucking say that? Because, I don't know. That doesn't...
Not as much as they said the one.
Yeah, we kind of had, if anybody that decided to actually go back and watch the show like we did before listening to it, you'll know exactly what we're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And they definitely stressed that with the Billy Gunn.
Oh,
but
yeah.
We'll get to that later in his match. Yeah, so it was a WWF event. This was prior to the Get the F Out and the changing of everything there. It was the second annual Armageddon, and it was, like I said, the first pay-per-view in Alabama. I wanted to note as well that the last Armageddon that we had, I mean, now we're in 2018, depending on when you're listening to this recording, but the last Armageddon was 2008, so that was 10 years ago, and Armageddon ran from 99 to 08, but they also had no show in 01, and before we dive too much in, I kind of wanted to get your thought and more just curious, like, did you know that? Is that...
I wasn't actually too sure how many Armageddons there was before we had talked about it. So no, I wasn't aware of that. But I feel like it's one of those situations where, you know, they have like a pay-per-view almost like Vengeance, where we've seen a few of them, but
yeah,
it's not a guarantee that we're going to get it every year type of thing.
But it seems weird to me for them to just stop it once.
Yeah, and then what you said the last one was in
2008. So they did it 99, 2000.
And they kind of phased it out.
No, 2001, and then 2002 all the way up to 08.
I wonder in 2001 they probably...
I'm sure there was a reason, but we didn't really do our research as far as...
I think with Armageddon it wasn't like an annual. Like they weren't always at the same time. They weren't always in December.
Oh, okay.
I don't believe.
So maybe that contributed to the timing.
Shuffling the deck and, you know.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
True enough.
Like a random one-off. I remember in 2011 or 2012 they had the Vengeance came back and then it was just gone.
Huh.
It was weird.
That is weird. Like I really wish they brought back some more of the pay-per-views with names like this rather than just pay-per-views with matches.
TLC.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to get into too much current
We'll save that
crap.
for another.
But, well, not current crap. I still love the product. But you know what I mean. Not that it's a major point, but the promo poster was kind of all the wrestlers riding in on bikes. I thought that was different. Cool. Never seen that poster
wasn't
before.
It just Undertaker and...
Could have been. I thought it was more or less almost a bunch, like every person in the match and as well as other people on the show. But this is why we like doing the show on the fly here and not editing shit out. So we'll see if I know what the fuck I'm talking about or not. While you find that out, I'll talk about anything else that was from the night. Obviously, if anybody didn't know, it's just going to be the two of us tonight. Two-man booth. Shout out to the two-man booth, by the way.
It was like a cartoon Undertaker, and like there's one that kind of appears to look like Stone Cold, but
the rest are just generic people.
Strange skull, fiery heads.
So Undertaker kind of took the reins of this front of the charge.
I love this cover, though.
It's a good one. I don't know. I think the best one I've seen since we've been doing the lookbacks is the one with Austin and Kane. What was it?
Or Austin and Taker.
Austin and Taker, sorry. Yeah, SummerSlam 98.
Yeah.
That was a really good one.
That was a good one.
So, yeah, and that only being 2 years prior to this. So, same sort of guys on the prowl and in the main event picture. As I said, I'll get back to it a little bit more. Commentary was Jim Ross, Jerry the King. And we'll get to our memorable moments at the end of the show like we always do. But I just wanted to have two kind of small points before we dive into it. But I definitely just think, like, this show represents, like, simpler times.
Yeah.
Easier times. 3-hour show.
Yeah.
Not as big of a roster. More just structured. More like what NXT is nowadays.
Yeah.
Obviously with still being with 2 hours of TV and not one.
Yeah. No.
But the show was just shorter and I thought it fit better. I don't know if that's just because we're coming off a string of 5 look-back SummerSlams as well as a current-day 2018 SummerSlam. That might be the fatigue factor. We might notice that more going back to more of a single-brand, smaller pay-per-view. So, yeah. Do you want to dive into the beginning of the show?
Yeah, let's get to it.
Okay. So the show opened with kind of a weird promo. The end is here. The end is near.
Yep.
I think you had to confirm that for me that it was near.
Near, yeah.
The end is near. It was a cool video, though. It was very different, and they were flashing. It was kind of a lot of... I don't know. I recommend anybody look up Armageddon 2000 hype video and check it out because it was very different. And the music was really cool. I thought it was a play off Sweet Home Alabama, but I have some questions for Don because I know you own this pay-per-view on VHS as a kid and you'd watched it many more times than myself. Like I said, this being my first time. What was so different about the music? I know there was no lyrics to the Sweet Home Alabama, but is this dubbed in or what is your perspective or thoughts? I mean, and I know we don't know for sure. We can't. It's not like we work for WWE Network, but...
It was like, do you remember, I don't know, do you remember Diamond Dallas Page's music? And like in WCW, he had this like flip of Nirvana. So it sounded like
but it wasn't
the Nirvana song, but
I can't say I know that and I don't want to pretend like I do. So.
Yeah, so it was like, if you hear it, you'll be like, oh, I know that riff, like from Nirvana.
Gotcha.
Right? It's a famous song. And then, but it's like, you can tell it's just a knockoff imitation kind of thing. Like they don't want to get...
They don't,
getting
so
shit
it's,
for
but it is just them kind of covering.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was slightly different, like the.
Yeah, no, it was okay, and I thought it worked. Like I said, me not knowing the song ahead of time and listening to this, I didn't mind it at all. Like it was not something that bugged me. I thought
Wasn't a big
I wrote
deal.
that I thought it was a pretty cool song for it. The show being in Alabama.
Yeah.
Home
Good
to
choice,
Alabama,
like
blah,
with the
blah.
original for sure.
Totally.
Yeah.
It made perfect sense. So I don't know. But yeah, there was, again, as always, lots of pyro and lots of signs. It being 2000, that was still kind of a common and regular thing.
Did you like the set with the?
I wanted to get
cars
into that. The set was a little crazy. It wasn't, I wouldn't say one of my favorites, but I think, again, that has to do with lately we've been kind of spoiled with some of the ones we've had between, well, not lately, but I want to say the Armageddon 2008.
Yeah.
Don't forget, go check that out, guys, on YouTube. That's a look back we did from 4 months ago, probably.
Yeah.
With me, you, and Younger.
Yeah.
Check that show out on YouTube, Look Back 2008. But yeah, it was different. It wasn't quite like that, and it didn't quite have the movie theater vibe to the SummerSlam 2008, I think it was, that we look back at, that I really enjoyed. But it was definitely cool, and it made sense to the whole Armageddon.
Oh, yeah,
reminds you kind of like a Walking Dead scene, cars piled up
wreckage
in the street, wreckage.
everywhere,
Yeah. So it definitely made sense. I thought the whole card was pretty good before we get into the first match, but as a whole, I thought it was pretty decent, and I don't know. We'll get into some of the stuff in a little bit that I had to say about the first couple matches, but I don't know. Like I said earlier, it was the first 6-man Hell in a Cell at this pay-per-view, so that was a big deal. I mean, there had only been 3 Hell in a Cells ever prior to this. Taker, Shawn, Taker, Foley, and then
Triple H and Foley,
and that was pretty much it. And we got a lot of that tonight.
Oh yeah,
we'll dive into it, but they showed us these matches throughout the night. They were peppered all over this show, and kind of reminding us. I don't know. I thought it was cool to see those and knowing that they were only 3 years ago.
Yeah, and it was kind of letting people
at the
know
time
how dangerous it is and what.
Yeah, they really stressed the whole
crazy shit that
career
happened.
ending of Mick Foley. I thought that was different. I didn't know that was such a staple. I don't know if it ended up being in the long run, but I guess at this time they were really trying to push the end of his career. Was that so? But yeah, that was pretty much it for the open of the show. We had Vince that showed up in a limo though, and he was limping. I thought that was kind of weird. I didn't really know what's the backstory behind that.
He had the cane and everything. I honestly don't know the entire backstory to that, to tell you the truth. Yeah.
Obviously, there was some kind of attack or something that went down.
Yeah. He could have been faking. He could have been faking an injury too, like knowing the character that he was playing. Then
it easily could have been a fake injury.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
True enough. Okay, you want to go in first one? Let's go. Match 1, intergender elimination match. It was Eddie, Perry Saturn,
and Dean Malenko.
I'm just realizing this now that they didn't have a woman on their team.
Yeah. and
then Hardy's with Lita.
Yeah,
like we'll let everybody else know who's listening. But yeah,
they came out with Terry, and I for a second forgot, and I was like, "Oh, is she gonna wrestle or?"
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I can't believe I didn't pick up on that till now. But at least we're talking about it on the show.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lita's tits. Had to get that in there. Very cool. They showed. I honestly thought it was really good. Them showing kind of the whole backstory between Dean Malenko and Dean Malenko and Lita, and showing the date, and then them going out and the Hardys attacking him in the hotel room. It really set the stage for the match, and I thought it was a good call.
Yeah, for sure.
To not only do that, obviously it was a good story, but to show us that.
Yeah.
It's not a big, huge main event match or anything, and they took the time to show us that, so that's appreciated for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely an important piece to the match.
Yeah, and Lita was looking amazing, so there's nothing wrong with that either. But how about that right at the beginning of the match? I don't even know what to call it. It was kind of like a double backdrop holding the legs.
Yeah, what the Hardy Boys did to Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, they kind of grabbed the leg each, lifted him up, and flipped him back. It was a cool
unique move. Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. And the crowd was chanting, "Eddie sucks." What the fuck was that about? I don't remember that.
Early Eddie Guerrero, first coming into the WWF, whatever you want to call it.
Big time heel
with
or what?
The Radicals. I don't want to say he had X-Pac go away but he kind of, I know he just wasn't. Yeah, a lot of those.
I don't like it. I'll be booing the boos.
Yeah, it took people a while to warm up to him, I guess. I mean, they kind of, but it was also coming off of him cheating on China and that whole.
Oh, this is all post European title.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, that makes more sense now.
So people were kind of like they were growing fond of him for that stuff, and then when he did that, they were like, he's rolling with Dean Malenko, who's a sly piece of crap himself, and
him
character
and Dean,
sense.
Going back to the classic matches of ECW times.
Yeah,
I think we watched that match last week.
Yeah, we did.
Match. completely off topic. But yeah, I don't have too much, honestly, on all the specifics of the match, but I kind of have all the eliminations we can go through.
Yeah.
In order. So there was a Swanton elimination for Eddie.
Yep.
Eddie was out. Perry Saturn eliminated Jeff. And then Matt eliminated Perry with the Twist of Fate. Dean Malenko would then eliminate Matt with a roll-up. And we get back to...
where it all started with...
Dean Malenko and Edge.
Lita.
Or, yeah, Edge. What the fuck am I talking about? Edge and Lita. Yeah.
You're thinking of that hotel scene.
Yeah, that's exactly what... Yeah, you're right. But yeah, so Dean Malenko and Lita. I thought that was great storytelling.
Yeah, no. I just loved the fact that, okay, Lita got a little bit of offense in, but for the most part, Dean really, he just took control, and it made sense for what,
Yeah.
I don't want to see a guy of his, level, his caliber be just,
thrown
beat up
around by Lita?
No,
Yeah, no
not to be
disrespect.
just beat up by a woman like that, because he's a legit guy, light heavyweight champion at the time, serious technical wrestler,
for sure.
So,
he had some good matches. No, I know what you mean.
I like the fact that they didn't shit all over his character there.
Yeah, and I just like the fact that they brought it full circle, and they totally brought it back to where it was.
Where it all started.
Yeah, exactly, and I don't know. I love that kind of stuff, the storytelling I've talked about many times. But was there anything major that you wanted to point out before we talk about the finish there? I had a question as well, but was there anything in the match you wanted to talk about?
Just maybe a little bit about Dean and the offense he was throwing. I like the fact, he would so easily, he could have beat Lita very quickly. They made it seem like he got her down. There was 1, 2, definitely could have been a 3, and he lifts her up by the hair.
Yeah.
Just kind of playing to the crowd. Everyone's booing, and he did it about 3 times before he actually...
I didn't even realize he did it.
Yeah, he did it about 3 times. Superplexed her off the fucking top rope.
That I have written down. I was going to say, I wrote down superplex, and then I wrote, that would never happen now, ever.
She had him in
a man superplexing a woman.
Excuse
me, off the top rope.
She was trying to grab him from behind, and he...
the elbow
right in the fucking...
Yeah, because she reversed
good shots he was
That was... Yeah. No, I know exactly the elbow you're talking about, and anybody who watched the match will definitely know what we're talking about. But yeah, so I had a question kind of before we talk about the finish of the match. Just a question. How big of a Hardy fan were you at this time? Because I know you're a big Hardy fan in general, but had they fully got you yet, or did it still take a year?
Yeah, I was always kind of like an early
adopter?
Hardy Boys fan.
I see.
I don't know why. Even going back to the shit with what's his name? Why is it slipping my head? When they were with the Brood, even, and they had a short run with Michael PSA as their manager. I don't know. I guess because I kind of watched them come in from early on, and then the whole Team Extreme stuff is what really. Yeah, I was definitely a fan.
For sure. Yeah. No, I knew you were always a Hardy Boy fan and Hardy Team Extreme, like you said, fan. So I figured I'd just get that in there and get the confirmation.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like we said, Malenko and Lita at the very end, they had a couple spots. You said superplex. Basically, it led to Malenko not doing a Boston Crab as the Texas Cloverleaf.
Texas Cloverleaf, yeah. On
Lita, and she tapped out pretty quickly.
And he held it in.
Kept it, yeah. No, he kept it going down for a while. The only thing I had to ask you, too, was, I don't know, it just seemed weird. Did the story continue after this? This can't be the end of the story.
I think Malenko probably had a little bit of more run-ins with the Hardys.
But they eventually got the best of him? Probably?
I don't know. Not necessarily. I mean, because... Unless, yeah, maybe it was Jeff Hardy that took the belt off him, that light heavyweight belt, because he did have that at the time. So
yeah, Malenko. They said that. Did he have it with him? Because I didn't see it on the entrance.
I don't remember seeing it either. Weird. Which pissed me off a little, because I think a champion should always have his belt with him.
Yeah. Weird. But yeah, that was pretty much it. Like we said, Malenko wins with tap out. What was the? Do you got the time on that one?
Yeah, so that was 8 minutes and 6 seconds.
Oh, I didn't get a jingle for you, man.
Oh, it's okay. I got one for later. Is that my new thing?
Dawn's time.
Maybe we can get the Jeopardy music.
Yeah, we can get something. I just got to do some more work. I mean, we show up. I do a lot of work prior, so I don't know. I got to do too much.
Don't worry. I'll sing for you later.
Oh, fuck. We'll see. Oh, yeah. Is that for the...
You know it.
Oh, shit. All right. So we're going to go into segment 2 now. That was the end of that. Like you said, what was the time again?
8 minutes and 6 seconds.
8 minutes, 6 seconds on the first match. So overall, pretty decent match. Shout out to Lita. Segment 2. Kurt Angle kind of warming up in the back.
Oh, yeah.
He was arrogant as fuck here, man. I got to be honest. And but I loved it too. Not loved it. You know what I mean? He's so new to the business at this point that it was just... watching the promo was like, holy fuck. clearly they knew this guy was going to be successful.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like after watching this, it's like, holy shit. This guy's been in the company 8 months or whatever it is at the time, and he's already the champion, and he's cutting promos like this. And essentially he was just in the back working out, doing kind of squats, and Lillian came up to him, and he just cut an amazing promo.
Yeah.
Did you have any thoughts on that?
No, I really enjoyed the promo. I like how he called out each of the guys, saying,
For reasons why he's scared and not
he's
so
not
scared.
scared of a badass, a fat ass, a nose, an eyebrow, or a redneck.
Yeah. No, that was good. I'm happy you brought that up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was more or less it. They kind of sprinkled in these segments. We'll talk about all of them throughout the whole night, interviewing each of the 6 members that were going to be in the Hell in a Cell match. So that was really cool. I liked how they sprinkled that in throughout the entire show.
I didn't completely realize that until you said it. Like, definitely.
You knew, but you didn't. Yeah,
exactly.
I know what you mean. But yeah, so next one, European title, William Regal versus Hardcore Holly. William was kind of coming in, and he was giving him like his rules to Alabama. Like, wash your overalls and
don't have sex with your farm.
Yeah, don't fuck your livestock, and like, what the fuck was that about? I don't know. What else did he say? You can wash your clothes, and I guess it was pretty good. But they were ripping. Maybe there's a reason WWE never went back to Alabama. They didn't want him back.
And as he went through 3 or so of those, and then as we got to number 4, Hardcore Holly's music hit, he got a good reaction, I thought at first.
Hey, that would have been a good music to start the show. Better than Ass Man, the only one. But, yeah, Hardcore Holly comes out to a huge pop.
And this guy looked good, like, physically.
Yeah, he did. Nice and jacked, like you said, hometown guy here. And I wanted to mention as well that JR, I don't know if it was JR or King, but they said that William had lost his belt on a house show.
Yeah, in Europe.
So
in his hometown.
Which makes sense, European title and everything too. And then won it back on Raw, the Raw before this pay-per-view. So that now he was defending it against Hardcore Holly.
In his hometown. So
exactly.
Nice little story behind that too.
Oh, I didn't even book the hometown thing. That's a good point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I didn't have, honestly, too much. It wasn't that long of a match. I know there was a really kind of nice bow and arrow submission in the middle.
Yeah.
They were stiff, which you expect. I mean, I've always kind of not been told, not that I know wrestlers, but I've always heard that Hardcore Holly's a bit stiffer of a guy, which is not in a bad way.
Regal, too, is definitely...
Exactly. I was going to say that as well. Regal being the same. So it was kind of just a regular, I want to say, TV match.
Yeah.
Similar to something you'd see maybe on Monday Night Raw or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we had Raven kind of sneak his way in and a DDT, which I was writing something down at the time, and it was like, I missed him. He was that quick. I asked you, I said, is this part of his gimmick?
Yeah, very sly, in and out.
Yeah.
I think so. This was early Raven, and this is before we really got to know his character. When he had the whole hardcore run with the trash can full of weapons and whatnot. So this Raven was a lot. You'd see him almost like they did with that earlier Edge, just like a strange guy, kind of looming in the background, looking looming in the crowd or in the darkness. And I don't really know if he was there to help Regal or maybe to try and get himself a title shot down the line. I don't remember exactly what that was.
Yeah.
Or if it was more his beef with Hardcore Holly. But yeah, Raven with the assist. And Regal retains the European title.
Yeah, Raven, I got to be honest, he's not a guy that I've seen a whole whack ton of.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just adjusted my mic, so it might be a little clearer for the people here.
Sounds good.
But he's not a guy that I'm too familiar with. I know when I watched wrestling a lot back in the day, one of my friends was a big fan of him.
Yeah.
And I knew him somewhat from TNA.
Okay, yeah, he did that.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know too much about him. But I thought it was super cool, like I said, the fact that he kind of snuck in without the ref even seeing. DDT, boom, gone. Match is over. Regal retains the championship in a heel way, and he kept the title. Like he reminded me of The Miz or something like that.
Yeah.
Or Alexa Bliss or just a real true, heel.
Yeah, I agree.
So that was pretty good.
5 minutes only.
That's it.
Yeah.
So like I said, very like Monday Night Raw TV match.
Yeah. That
kind of stuff. Yeah, so after that we had another segment. Like I said, these were kind of peppered in, sprinkled in throughout the entire show.
Mm-hmm.
This one was Rikishi. This is the thing I wrote down that I told you that I wanted to tell you that I had never told you.
Okay.
No, not what I had told you about before. But this is probably the first ever Rikishi promo that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can believe that.
It was different, that's for
He
sure.
wasn't. He would have definitely wasn't known for
No, and I got to be honest, I haven't again like
Seen a
some of
lot
these.
of-
No, I haven't. I've seen a lot of like little clips.
Too Cool Rikishi.
Too Cool Rikishi. I've seen little clips of this match as far as like we'll talk about later. Top of the Cell stuff and all that kind of stuff, but I haven't seen a lot of him cutting promos at all. So that was different and definitely cool to see.
Yeah.
I don't know. He was showing. I thought he was gonna go more. I don't know why. And this isn't like a racial thing. I just really, he had the look and the vibe to me that he was gonna get Samoa.
Yeah.
On us.
Yeah.
And like I don't mean Samoa. I mean just like talk more like maybe like the Usos. Like maybe because I think like his sons. I don't know, but you know what I mean. I thought he was gonna bring culture into it too, which I thought was different, but I don't know.
The promo was good for what it was. I like the fact that he was bringing up, because this was his first ever shot at the title.
Yeah.
So he was saying that, he's willing to put it all on the line. I like that he brought that into it.
Yeah, you know what? I feel
saying, like,
horrible, but I didn't. I would have wrote that down. I did not book or realize that was his first ever title shot at the big title. And he's also, I know, we'll talk about it before the big match, but he was the only guy in that match that had never won the title.
Yeah.
So that was kind of different. So let's move on. Do you have anything else to say about Rikishi?
No.
Other than shout out to Rikishi?
No. Good, decent promo. I liked it. I always was a fan of this heel Rikishi too. It wasn't like a long-lived run, but I enjoyed it.
Was he mostly a babyface? Like most of his career?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely a good 90%. This was a very small thing. It was maybe a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I didn't realize that. Like to me, he seemed like more of a heel. I never really knew. But
actually, sorry. You know what? Not to dive too deep into it, but I know he did the whole tag run earlier, Wild Samoan stuff. So
and that was all heel.
That was all heel. So.
Okay.
But yeah, as far as what he's most known for, as far as like the whole Too Cool and this whole storyline with The Rock and Austin and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Go on to the next one.
Yeah. The fucking. Right to censor. Yeah.
So we had, and then this is what I was talking about. I mentioned it briefly at the beginning that I would go into when we talked about the first couple matches, but we had China versus Val Venus in another no gender match.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot of no gender matches, all kind of
Attitude Era.
Close to each
at
other,
its
no?
finest, I would say.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that something that was semi-regular, almost once a pay-per-view?
Not really, but it's very common. Like, you'd see men and women often getting into it. Even to go back, not to dive too deep, but to go back to the first match when Terry came in the ring and slapped Matt Hardy, he was about to give it to her until Lita hit her with the...
That's true. Like, he wasn't holding back.
Yeah, he was ready to...
Not at all.
So, yeah, it was definitely a more common thing, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't have a lot to say. I had a couple questions and then I had a comment or two about China and Ivory. But it was right to censor. How big were they and how long did that last? I think I may have asked this on a previous look back, but how popular were they? Like, obviously not in a good way. I mean, heel-wise.
They were definitely over as far as heels are concerned.
Like, the crowd always booed them.
I personally fucking hated them.
Yeah. They were trying to get rid of
all this,
WWF type
exposed
Attitude Era. That's the word I was looking for. We just said it. But yeah.
I like the fact that all the people in the group too were like for example, you got the Godfather, who he used to be a pimp.
Mm-hmm.
They brought him to the good side. Don't do this. Same thing with
Val
Venus was a very I don't know the word, but he's very out there with his character. Like a somewhat of a porn star type of dude. And then they got him. I like how these characters all come from something, and then that's how they turned.
Yeah, you just brought up something else for me that I wanted to ask you about Val Venus. We'll get to the rest of the match in a second, but did he not come back with that gimmick? Like, did the porn wearing not porn, but you know what I mean, model-y sex man gimmick with the towel, didn't that come back? I swear I saw Val Venus in my early days of watching wrestling, like 04.
Yeah, he probably had a brief run. I would say he came back like that. Okay. I kind of remember that too.
Cause it
might have started with like a Royal Rumble appearance, and then he came back for a short time.
Gotcha.
Maybe with that character. I remember he did this whole commissioner thing.
Yeah, I just remember the towel and him and the purple gear, but it wasn't this time. Like, it wasn't
it was
pre.
Later.
Yeah, it was later. It was when
totally
I was.
See that,
it was when I was watching it more frequently. So, but yeah, the only other thing I wanted to talk about, other than the the two girls, is Chyna's just athletic as fuck, man. I never really realized, like, I knew that she has power and she's like dominating, but I never really noticed like her athleticism.
Yeah, she can go for sure.
She just has like the movement, and she just moves like an athlete. Like it doesn't surprise me one bit that she became what she became. But Ivory too. I mean, not overly, but I just think Ivory was more. She knew this character inside and out.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, like, her with this character was amazing.
Yeah.
The facial expressions and
no, she knew how to play it perfect.
Yeah, it was great.
Even and she comes into the match, and she crawls under the ring or above the ring. Sorry, she's running away from Chyna. She crawls into the ring and then kind of, I don't know if it was King or JR that said she's scurrying like a dog, and then it was almost like as soon as they said that, she got on all fours and ran across the top of the ring. That distracted Chyna. And then Val Venus, what did he hit?
He didn't hit the money shot, did he? Didn't he hit her with
Fisherman suplex?
Yes, yeah.
Fisherman. So was that
perfect plex? Shout out to Mr. Perfect
and Kurt.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty much it. Ivory with the distraction. I kind of had this written down. It doesn't really make sense, I think. But like, did you feel? Because now that I know your thoughts earlier on Lita and Malenko. Did you feel like it was bad that the women got kind of taken out in both of these intergender matches?
Not really, because Chyna was definitely getting more offense in
than Val,
and then that's her character too. You know, Chyna. That's true. She's a former Intercontinental Champion. Former, I don't know if she had held the women's title. I mean, she probably held the women's title at this point, but you know, former women's champion, Intercontinental Champion. Like she's been in there with guys before, and she was actually kind of getting a lot of shit in on Val. If it wasn't for Ivory, like, she probably would have got the win.
Yeah, no, you're right. It does make more sense that way too.
But this whole storyline, I remember this pretty clearly because they were telling the story of, you know, Chyna was trying to get her hands on Ivory for like maybe a good half a year, and she was always shit in the way.
Okay.
Because even at the end, remember, she was gonna go for the powerbomb, and Val.
Don't they have a match at Mania?
Yep, and this is leading into it. That Mania.
Okay.
That's when she finally gets her hands on her.
And she beats her relatively quickly for the belt. Yep. Ivory's the champion by then?
Yeah.
Because she wasn't the champion here, right?
No, she is, yeah.
She was? Did I miss the belt? I must have missed it on her shoulder.
Yeah, she defends it later in the night.
Oh, my God, yeah. Sorry, what am I saying? Yeah, we'll get to that. Jesus.
Yeah, so Ivory actually
a lot of writing in the last couple hours here.
Yeah, no. From what I remember, Ivory had like a lot. It seemed like a long reign at the time. And I remember being just, you know, happy that Chyna had finally got the belt off her.
Yeah, no, as soon as you said that like she had been running from her kind of thing, that sparked the memory. I don't know, was it 18? Whatever, 17, whatever the Mania 2000 was, which I think we watched. We didn't do a look back. Probably look for that in the future.
Oh, definitely.
But yeah, all in all, a decent match between the two of them.
Yeah, not too long on this one either. This went for 5 minutes and 3 seconds.
Okay, so the first one was long-ish, and then they kind of not long, but slowed it down there for a little while. We had another segment after this. We had Vince and Steph backstage. I had a question for you regarding Vince, but once again, I got to shout out Stephanie. She was looking great.
Younger Stephanie.
I haven't seen a lot of young Stephanie, so this is new and great for me. But it was her voice, man. I couldn't get over how much of like a college girl she sounded like so compared younger to like this, you know, CEO woman that I'm used to.
Yeah,
it's a lot different. But so. Let me know, what is this Vince getting divorced business? Of what do you know of this?
Okay, well, so this is the year 2000 we're talking, and at the past WrestleMania we had that whole match with a McMahon in every corner, you know, for the WWF title, where you had, you know, Vince with one superstar, Steph, Shane, and Linda as well. So the McMahons were all
that was at SummerSlam before this.
No, that was at Mania. Yeah. In the year 2000.
Oh, yes, WrestleMania 2000.
Yeah.
That was like the name. They didn't have a number that year.
They just ran with that. Yeah.
Got you. Mm-hmm. Okay. Which was technically 16?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, they had this whole feud going. I mean, Stephanie and Vince, you know, put their shit aside, obviously, and they were good. But Shane McMahon was kind of taking his mom's side and out of the picture.
Okay.
And it seemed that, you know, Vince, Shane, and Linda, they never really made up. So that was the whole thing here. And this led into the whole storyline with Vince getting the divorce, and then shortly after this, Armageddon, like leading into the match with him and Shane McMahon. And Linda was in Shane's corner.
Yep.
Stephanie was siding with Vince.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's...
Plus, Vince was banging Trish.
Yeah, that's what that's I'm happy you brought that up, because that's kind of where I was going.
Yeah.
I just was curious, because I was like, doesn't this have something to do with Trish?
Mm-hmm.
I remember something, but yeah. So thanks for breaking all that down and explaining that. But basically, Vince was talking to Stephanie. Stephanie was trying to convince Vince, hey, I don't want this match to go down. I don't want to see Triple H get hurt. Have you seen what happened to other wrestlers? And Vince seemed to be very on the side of Triple H here, which is, again, not something I'm used to. But I guess they're both heels, so that's why. But, so yeah, he was kind of agreeing with Stephanie and said, yeah, I got to stop this match, and you got to change this.
Looking for Mick Foley, too,
who was the commissioner / GM at the time, or did they have a GM?
It was commissioner, he was the GM.
Okay, basically. It's not like now where Stephanie's a commissioner and Kurt Angle's a GM?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, it was the same.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was over, and then we kind of went into a little bit of a, I don't want to call it a lull, but it was a good chunk of segments.
Yeah,
I would say for a pay-per-view, it felt more like a Raw, like a middle of the show, 8 o'clock, 9:15, not 8:45, 9 o'clock type segment time. So I don't know what the fuck I'm trying to say, but you know what I mean. We went into another segment which was really good. I'm gonna get you to talk more on this one, just because I know you've seen it a lot and you were a big fan of it. But we had Undertaker, in the Hell in a Cell on Sunday Night Heat. I don't know if it was on Sunday Night Heat. It might have been before.
Yeah, I think it was.
It might have been before any.
It was
fans.
earlier in the day.
During the day.
Yeah.
He was in the ring, basically cutting a promo on Hell in a Cell itself, and talking about what his. It was weird because I want to talk about this. He brought up the fact that he remembers or he sees visions of what he used to do. So I thought, this is the part of the promo where I told you when we were watching it that I wasn't a big fan, and then he kind of saved me when he came in and just killed it. I don't know how I feel about him having visions of being the dead man. Do you know what I mean? Is that how the storyline is played out, that he died and now he reincarnated?
I don't really think that's even what he meant.
No?
I think he was more just saying
because I meant when I heard it to me it was he's having visions of his past.
Yeah, okay.
Of things he did in his previous life type thing.
Yeah, no. That's not. I don't even think that's where he was going with it. I think he was just more so speaking on the fact that when he's in Hell in the Cell, he turns on this fucking sadistic side to himself, which even scares him. He said, right?
Yeah.
So I don't even think he was referring to the Dead Man stuff.
Okay,
but he still kind of repped it with the Dead Man Inc.
Well, that's what I thought. That's why it was kind of weird. But like I said, he saved me, and he came in with an amazing baby face
promo. Yeah,
it was just a sadistic, and it was. I haven't heard a lot of Undertaker promos like this one.
Yeah.
It was kind of like I said. The setting was cool. He was in the ring, and then they kept flashing back to previous Hell in a Cell matches with Shawn, with Mick Foley.
Yeah,
and my favorite line of this promo type thing was when he started talking about making people famous.
Yeah.
He goes, I made Mick Foley famous, and I made Shawn more famous than he already was. Yeah. And I'm just curious who I'm going to make famous tonight.
Mm-hmm. As he kind of looks.
And was that foreshadowing?
Yeah.
To kind of, not to say, we'll talk about it later, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Who knows? Sure it was. I don't know. Why don't they do more stuff like this now? And I don't want to spend too much time on this, but.
I feel like it was more common back then, yeah.
Just I think these in-ring...
Empty arena.
Yeah.
No, they used to back then. I remember this. I remember even seeing guys more sometimes in the stands getting interviewed and stuff.
Yeah, man.
Sitting there.
I'm totally a fan of this. I thought it was cool, but it was a very good promo. Like I said, I don't know. Did you have any other thoughts on that?
No. I really enjoyed it.
Cool.
Enjoyed it. I remember it being.
Any favorite parts, any specific, or just overall? It was all a solid segment.
Yeah, solid segment. I like when he was talking about he remembers grabbing Shawn and grinding his face against the cage, and even when he goes talking about Mick Foley, I threw him off. He was very
as hard as I could.
Yeah,
I remember he said that specifically. He's like, I threw him off as hard as I could.
He was definitely showing that he had that other side to him.
That's
so it was
good.
Great.
Yeah, no, good segment. Like I said, leading into another segment. This being an in-ring segment.
Yeah.
Still, this was 3 segments in a row. I mean, we had Stephanie and Vince backstage, convincing Vince to put a stop to the match. We got our Undertaker decently long segment. I wish you had a time on that. Not that you can get it. But, but yeah, I get that the next segment kind of was foreshadowed / led into with Steph and Vince. But the next segment being Vince coming to the ring with Pat and Gerald. and kind of explaining why he wants the match not to happen. I had to bring it up. How about Vince, the World Wrestling Federation Entertainment?
Yeah.
The WWFE.
That was weird.
I've never heard that before. I know you were thinking maybe it was dubbed, but I remember hearing, or not hearing, I remember seeing his lips moving with that. So I don't know how they would have to have him looking the other way if it was dubbed in and then just have the audio. So it definitely happened, but it definitely shows you
Where is that? Was that?
Yeah, what he was looking for.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I totally thought it was weird. That's all. That's the best way I can.
Yeah, I'm surprised I even picked up on it, but I'm happy I did. So he was basically, like I said, trying to put a stop to the Hell in the Cell. And I loved the part when he was like, stand up.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
Up. Hey, yeah, you, stand up.
I loved when
he's yelling at people when they're standing up.
You hear JR going to King, sit down.
Sit down. Yeah, he's like, wait, he told us to stand if we want to stand with him. It's like, you're embarrassing me, sit down.
Yeah, that was good.
It was definitely a good segment, and I don't know what else to say. Did you have any thoughts on that one?
No, it was good. That was definitely a standout of the segment. Vince telling the crowd, there's one, I see you there.
I see you, yes, you, stand.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Definitely a good segment. You want to get to the next match?
Sounds good.
All right, next match, Y2J Chris Jericho versus Kane. Got to be honest, before we say anything about this match, never knew these guys had a feud. Never knew. It doesn't surprise me one bit because they've both been around for a fucking long-ass time, but
it's just not something that comes to mind right away when you think of either.
No, I never, and I can't think of a match.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure they had one-off fucking Raw matches here and there, but
yeah,
I can't think of a
high-profile
Chris Jericho Kane feud. Now I can, obviously.
Yeah. I remember pretty well, probably due to the fact that I own the pay-per-view before this too, so I've seen they had a match at that Survivor Series, I know.
Oh, it's nice. So this carried on for more than one.
Yeah, this was the end of
pay-per-view.
This was the end, but I know it
because of the last man standing stip. That makes sense.
Yeah, which is cool. I like the fact that it built into that, and
for sure,
pretty cool little promo they did, I thought,
at the beginning.
Yeah,
leading in. Yeah, I wrote that actually. Good promo build, and it was good to kind of similar to the Lita stuff. It was good to get an update of the storyline myself for not knowing any of that stuff. Kane's entrance was sweet. I don't know what was different about it, but it was just badass. That mask is scary as fuck, man.
Yeah.
Like, that mask looks like it could easily be in a horror film.
And this is prime Kane, like, physically.
Yeah, I had it written down, like, later on, but I'll say it right now before we go into the match. Like, to me, Kane just looks so much like a wrestler.
Yeah.
Like, you look at him, and you're just like, yeah, he's a wrestling character.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't know why. I think it's more because I know him, too. Like, obviously, he looks more like a murderer.
Yeah. But
he just looks like a WWF wrestling character.
Yeah, no, I agree.
He fits that very well.
Yeah.
What was it? So the entrance, like I said, from Kane was pretty sweet. He attacked Jericho in the middle of his entrance.
Oh yeah, he went right up the aisleway and just got to it. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It made Kane look like a badass. That's for sure. But I like the fact that as soon as that happened, they kind of didn't even go to the ring.
Yeah, they went straight to
the
backstage. Yeah.
Again, I think I wrote this and we've talked about it already, but not something that happens a lot in 2018.
Oh, definitely not.
I don't really know why, but you don't see that very much.
Yeah.
Fuck. You don't see it very much.
When was the last time we got that was, and it was, I guess they like to save it and make it feel more, but just give it a little more, you know?
Backstage stuff?
Because I remember, not to go off and talk about stuff, when Shane McMahon and Kevin Owens were feuding, they did something.
Yeah, and I guess Braun and Kevin a few weeks ago with the outhouse stuff. Again, if depending on when you're listening to the show, but they did that on Raw. And then the only other one that comes to mind, of course, is fucking Roman when he got pushed off and he was on the stretcher.
Yeah.
And Strowman kind of pushed him off of the ledge. He was supposed to be on there. But yeah, I don't know. I just think it's cool when they do the whole fighting around the arena thing. Mm-hmm. I know I was in Toronto live when Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins kind of had that street fight all over the arena,
crowd,
which was cool in the crowd. So yeah. Definitely something to be positive about and talk positive on.
Yeah.
The match was pretty good. I mean, they got back to the ring relatively quick, I thought.
Yeah.
They didn't spend too much time outside there. They weren't wasting time, that's for sure.
I thought it was interesting. There wasn't like a lot of weapon usage, really.
No, it was more like what would the word be? The surroundings, I guess.
Yeah.
Or the environment maybe would work better. A lot of the use of the environment worked really well. I thought they were both working well, but not only had I never seen or knew that these guys had a match against each other, but I would say they're both probably in their prime at this point too, no?
Yeah.
I would say this is probably prime Chris Jericho, maybe a little before, but
Yeah, maybe a little before.
But Kane, I would say this is definitely Kane's prime.
Yeah, this was definitely the better version of Kane.
And I mean athletically and age-wise, they're probably mid-20s, both of them at this point. Kane maybe a little bit older, I'm not sure, but, you know.
Yeah.
Good to see out of both of them. And sorry if anybody can hear the lawnmower in the back. We're doing our best at the PW LookBack to avoid any outside noise, but, you know, as always, we're learning here, and we're trying to give you the best product that we can.
Yeah.
All the way from Canada.
Yeah,
so, I don't know. Anything else you wanted to talk about the match? I thought it was relatively long. I want to get the time from you before the end here, because it felt long-ish.
Yeah, it did. And I'm a fan of, like, longer matches, but to me, it not to say it went too long, but
it pushed that
kind
seal.
Of, yeah, for me, I think. Like, I was kind of, at certain parts, I was like,
yeah.
It's kind of falling out of it a bit. Like, but they grabbed me back with certain moves. So credit to both guys for sure to, you know, do that. Because there was a couple little lull points in the match.
I thought that too. There was, like, I mean, obviously enough for me to write down that I thought it was decently long.
Yeah.
There was another spot I wanted to point out, the lion salt onto the chair.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool. I thought it was weird that Jericho didn't flip the chair the other way. He kind of landed on, like, the more sharp-ish part of the chair, the bottom. Good for him for doing that.
Yeah.
It was pretty sweet. And they were both taking pretty hard hits, but Jericho was selling a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe kind of leading into the finish, which was kind of odd. I thought it was very, how do I say, modern. Like, it felt like that's something
that could happen now with Braun Strowman.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it felt like something that they would do now, because normally I felt more sense of realism back then.
Yeah.
With the stuff that you see, and this didn't. I don't know. It didn't hit for me.
Yeah, no, me neither.
I like the idea of these two guys fighting, but this match it didn't hit for me.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. Like it felt, like I said, it felt a little long.
Yeah, and it was something about it. I don't know. The finish, basically what happened was they had made their way back from the ring back towards the stage, and there was this kind of collection of barrels that were all touching each other, and Jericho pushed them over onto Kane, kind of trapping him, in quotations as I'm doing right now. You can't see me, but trapping him underneath and therefore, you know, holding him there. And we did get a shot of Kane's arm kind of sticking up through the barrel, so that was kind of cool and freaky, but definitely a weird way to win.
Yeah. I guess the way it looked, it wasn't impressive enough to catch me. I always remember that about this match. It kind of bothered me a little bit. Not to say that I want to see the guy get fucking smushed under a pile of
for sure
fucking barrels, but it was very obvious that he had a good amount of room in between the barrels. If he maybe kind of stood up a bit more and then
that's kind of what I was thinking. That's what I meant about modern. Like, they do stuff like that now where you can
blatantly tell.
Yeah, I don't want to be nitpicker, but you can blatantly tell that he's not trapped here.
No, but that was I always remember that about this match, and I remember it kind of bothering me almost too.
Yeah, especially back then, not as being, you know, accustomed to breaking stuff down like we do now. Overall, good, bad, pass. Probably not watch it again, eh?
I don't know. It wasn't as good as I remembered, you know. But the match went for 16 minutes and 48 seconds. So,
okay, so it was relatively long compared to, what was it, the longest so far of the night?
So far, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because we had 12 in the first match?
Yeah, 8 minutes in the first, and then the other 2 5-minute matches, and then a bunch of in-between segment stuff.
Got you. Okay, well, yeah, like I said, maybe not the best one for them, but I would like to go back, #PW LookBack, at maybe their first match.
Oh, yeah.
You said that they had it at another pay-per-view. I'd be interested, because I don't know why Kane Jericho seems like I think it's because it's new to me, and I've never seen that, so it's something different. Moving on, we had another segment. Like I said, these were kind of sprinkled in throughout the night. This one was kind of Mick Foley's segment, and it was kind of who was doing the interview? Was it Lillian?
I believe it was Lillian, yes.
I think it was Lillian kind of interviewing and wanting to know what was going to happen as far as, you know, Vince and not wanting the match to happen, and does he know the implications and the circumstances and you know, what could happen in this match. And he said he knows, and this match is going to happen, and he'll take the consequences and accept that no matter what happens.
So Foley he didn't plan on shutting it down?
No.
Which is good. I like that.
Definitely not. Did you remember what was next?
The tag match are we talking about, or did we have another little?
There was another little.
We got my boy. Is this my boy Triple H?
No. I don't know if he would be classified as one of your boys, but we had HBK over at NYC Live.
Yeah.
They were really stressing.
It was weird.
Yeah, it was really weird. Was he not away from the company for 2 years at this point?
Yeah, he was.
So is this a rare occurrence to even see HBK? Sorry, on a pay-per-view.
Yeah,
that's weird. That he would show up randomly at this one and talk for 30 seconds. I don't know even what did he say. He said he was talking about his match 3 years ago with Taker, and JR was kind of asking him.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Yeah, he was just kind of basically saying. The main point I got from it was that he was saying this match is like kind of structured for the Undertaker.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So kind of putting more of the favor in the Undertaker's side and letting the crowd think maybe the Undertaker had a better chance of winning. But I talked about it before. I'll talk about it quickly again. I just wanted to stress, like, I like the perspective of us looking back and knowing that at the time those matches were only 3 years.
Oh yeah,
removed.
for sure. Mm-hmm.
Like that's because to us they're such classic matches. It's like we've been watching, or me again, have been watching wrestling for longer than 3 years. So to think back that they're that close, is, I don't know, kind of cool.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So you understand why they stressed it so much.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so after that, like you said, we go into the tag match of the night, tag team championships. We had Edge and Christian versus Right to Censor, who I gotta say before I say the rest of the tag teams,
maybe.
Well, I wanted to start the show with their music. I really did, but that's just not music that you start a podcast with, I gotta be honest. No. Maybe if we had more of a video show and we could do something at the beginning, but I don't want people to be turning off our show just based on that fucking horrible music.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? We gotta hook people in some way. But in addition to Right to Censor and Edge and Christian, we had K-Quick and Road Dogg. Want to talk on them.
AKA R-Truth.
Yeah, I want to talk on them a little bit, but and as well as the Dudley Boys. Kind of a four-corner matchup / the most overused match of the Attitude Era?
Yeah.
Can you think of a more?
I don't know. I could go to more of these like hardcore.
A little too much.
Hardcore matches were like definitely
just like no rules, not even necessarily hardcore.
Not even for the belt, but just like having a hardcore street fight match.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's fair.
This is definitely up there for sure.
But yeah, we talked about it before we hit record. Just kind of the frequency of 4-man, two teams in at a time, tag matches.
I believe I own most of the pay-per-views from this year, 2000. And I could tell you that I've seen tag matches like this so many.
Yeah.
On so many of them. At least
I can picture them at Madison Square Garden. I know of a couple famous ones there with Eddie and Ray, and maybe not Eddie and Ray together, Eddie and Chavo together.
Yeah.
From the Eddie DVD. But yeah, they were definitely used a lot, maybe too much. But it was a crazy match, and I got to be honest, shout out to R-Truth and K-Quick. K-Quick, R-Truth, whatever you want to call him. He was moving young. I mean, this is 18 years ago, so I didn't know. I mean, not that I didn't expect it, but I've never seen R-Truth, as a young pup moving around in the ring like that, and kind of explain his gimmick there with Road Dogg. I thought this was different. It's the first time I didn't even know that they were a thing.
Yeah, so this is a bit of like it's kind of similar to the R-Truth everybody knows with the whole.
Oh, for sure. I think that's why I resonated with it so much.
Yeah, so it was interesting because he was in the company for a couple years and then he left. Like he wasn't here the whole time. He left and went to TNA and did his whole thing over there. Ron Killings using like his real name and just the whole very like black empowerment, cool fucking heel character.
Wait,
he did some
before
cool stuff
this?
In TNA. No, after this.
Okay, I was gonna say
before he
TNA.
came back.
Oh, okay. You mean before he came back, like as of
R-Truth,
2018 or whenever he came back, 14, whatever it was.
So yeah, him and I guess they probably put him with. If I was to guess, like they probably put him with the Road Dogg to have him be with someone who has more experience, who can kind of
Yeah, and they both had the speaking,
yeah,
like on the mic to walk into the ring kind of gimmick. Did R-Truth have that when or was this his first gimmick?
He might have done a very minimal
short
stuff
run by himself
before, but I don't think so. I kind of feel like Road Dogg almost like brought him in.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I thought it was cool, man. I definitely think maybe I would have been a fan of them if I was watching this back in the day.
I definitely liked it as a kid, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, I resonate a lot with it knowing, the whole what's up gimmick from nowadays.
For sure.
Pretty cool. The match was pretty fast-paced. I say that a lot, but this one really was. Like
no, it really was.
It started quick and it wasn't that long. I mean, we'll get to the time in a second, but
and we had a lot of tags from different guys, tagging other teams.
Exactly, without
sneaking in.
That's what I was just going to say, without that team necessarily wanting to be tagged out. How about the Dudleys being over as fuck?
Yeah, I loved it.
The crowd was, they were chanting, "We want tables" the whole match.
Oh, yeah.
Like the whole match. It was insane.
Then we had the Dudleys kind of running the show for a good portion, like the later half of the match.
Yeah. Before we get to that, though, I wanted to go back to, I know I'm kind of all over the place, but just to K-Quick, how long was their run? K-Quick and Road Dogg. Just before we go into the finish.
No, probably not that long. I remember it a little bit before this. 5 months, maybe.
Okay, so it wasn't anything crazy.
No, nothing too crazy.
For sure. Okay, yeah, I just wanted to get that. I was curious.
Yeah.
It's good to see young Mike Chioda. Shout out to the referee. He looked young as fuck. Way different, that's for sure. But how did the match end again? I know we had Edge and Christian going over, winning the tag team titles, fucking heels, and I hated this little version of them. I got to be completely honest with you. Like, the whole funny big glasses and kazoos thing never fucking did it for me.
No, it was the whole point, I think. Nobody like they were over as heels definitely back in the day. Like they weren't, as much as they're credited now for the cool spots and everything, they weren't at the time. People just fucking hated them. Like these.
Well,
assholes.
I think a part of it is that show that they did in 2016 or 17 or whatever it was when they did the Reeks of Awesomeness or whatever. And
Christian show.
I fucking hated that show on the network, man.
I liked it,
but I think that's because
there's another season.
Well, I won't be watching it. I can tell you that. Because there's enough shit on the network, and I still got to watch that Nakamura documentary because you've been fucking on my case for that for a long time. But, he's a top 3 guy in the company, so you got to watch it.
Yeah.
I know. I've been waiting, man. I don't know. You got to...
Maybe we can talk about it.
Yeah, maybe we can do a separate look back Nakamura documentary. Try that out, see how that works.
Yeah.
That's the benefit of being on YouTube.
For sure.
But yeah, so...
So
was it a spear? No, it was a bit of a roll-up.
We had actually Christian hit the his finisher, the Impaler.
Yes, and that was after the Dudleys, like you said, went on their little
the
run
Dudleys running the show. Gave
3Ds
a couple 3Ds, a couple was up.
Yeah.
Crowd just being super into it. And then Edge, and then Edge basically snuck in.
And just got the pin after the Impaler?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, how many was he throwing up the 4? Was this their fourth?
This is their fourth time winning the tag belts.
As a team. Pretty cool. I didn't know at this point that they had already, I don't know when they broke in, but I guess they broke in with the Brood pretty early too.
Oh, yeah, right?
So they had been around 3, 4, 5, 4 years maybe at this point?
Yeah.
3?
3 or 4, yeah.
Yeah, not 5 for sure. But yeah, okay, cool. Moving on, go to the next one. We had, again, Triple H and Stephanie.
Sorry, before that, just a quick time drop for that one. It was 9 minutes and 43 seconds.
Oh, so yeah, sorry.
But it wasn't.
Kind of staying in that same bracket.
Realm, yeah.
I have we had anything? What was the longest one we had? The match right before this, right?
Jericho and Kane.
Is
the longest next to the
16, right?
To the main event, yeah.
16.
Yeah, 16:48
for Jericho Kane. Yeah. Okay. Overall, a pretty good tag match, but I think I've just seen enough of those.
This was the one actually.
Multi-man.
I wanted to
4-man, 2-man.
I forgot the outcome. I thought
really?
Right to Censor was going to retain. Yeah. I knew the Dudleys.
Well, and I know
winning.
Edge got you when was it Edge hit a spear and you thought that it was going to be it and they kicked out?
Yeah.
So yeah, when you said that, I was kind of thinking, you're like, this guy fucking pulling my leg. I thought he knows all the. I thought he knows all the matches. I thought he knows all the results. What's he doing?
Only match of the night
that you didn't remember.
They got me for a second. I was like, I thought for sure because I remember Right to Censor, like we said, they had this whole fucking run.
Yeah,
they had the women's title and they had the tag belts at this time. So
true that.
Yeah.
Moving on, might as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go Triple H and Stephanie backstage. I think I said again, but they hadn't showed them yet.
Hey, can you give me a round of applause, please? Because I think Triple H was wicked on the fucking promo here.
I gotta get it.
I love, like I was telling you when we were watching, I love this only caring about the the title.
I'll give you a round of applause as well. Shout out to Triple H. We'll give him 2.
Yeah.
We'll give him 2. This promo was really good. Yeah, I got to be honest. And like you said, the fact that he was stressing the whole...
Like he basically said the title means more to me than you.
Yeah. And in every fucking way except for saying those words. That's exactly what he said. So it was just a really good promo. And I don't know. It was a good segment, good placement.
Yeah.
They went straight to another match after this. So yeah.
Should
we move straight to that?
Are you ready for this?
I don't know. Are you ready for this?
So this was the Intercontinental Championship on the line. And just in case you guys didn't know, who was the Intercontinental Champion at this time?
The one Billy Gunn?
Yeah.
Is that what they called him? I'm trying to
it.
get the music back up, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to
The
do
one
that.
Billy Gunn, a.k.a. Mr. Ass.
The Ass Man? Former partner of the Road Dogg.
Rocking 2 earrings at that, which is a big deal in the year 2000.
Yeah, well, let me get my points out before you, because I don't want anyone to think that that's the reason why I'm not a big Billy Gunn fan. I just want to get it out there. Not a huge fan. Respect him for being and putting his body on the line for all the years that he did, but you can't like everybody, and this guy doesn't like that guy. So, but yeah, like you said, wearing 2 earrings, and JR made a comment about it. I thought that was weird. Definitely not something you'd hear now. But again, we'll get another bit of his music. We started the show with it. We might as well play it during during talking about his match. But yeah, Billy Gunn versus Chris Benoit for the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah.
I had to get it in there. Yeah, so this was a stiff match.
Did you like this at all? Like, I want to know, because I know you're not like a huge,
We'll get there, my
probably
friend.
haven't seen much, but like, what did you think?
We will get there, my friend.
Did he impress you?
I gotta be honest, yeah. This, I have it written down more towards the end. I wanted to talk more about the match a little bit, some other points, but I'll talk about it now. Yeah, I thought this was a good match, and I even wrote, I gotta say, this is a good match.
Yeah.
Because, like I stated, I'm not a huge Billy Gunn fan, but I mean, I like Chris Benoit as the character. As we've stated on other shows, the character that he represented in WWE was something I was always a fan of as a kid.
Yeah.
So yeah, being that, they did a really good job together.
Yeah.
It worked well. I mean, Billy did a lot of selling, which is good.
I had a lot to say about the Benoit factor of the match, actually.
Yeah, the only thing I had, honestly, small in him I wanted to get before you touch on that is just the gear. I know he was rocking that older... Classic gear, yeah.
He's still very early in his run in the company.
I feel like we need a sound effect for gear.
Yeah, we do. We'll get that.
We're working on the sound effects machine and working the tweaks out. But anybody that's sticking with us through all of our episodes, we do appreciate that. Your thoughts on Chris Benoit? We'll get back to that. I don't want to get too off topic.
Did you notice the commentators, like, how much they were putting this guy over?
Benoit?
In the beginning?
And no, I didn't realize it, but it's not that I don't believe you. I just didn't hear it.
So I just feel like at this point in time, they knew where they were going with him as far as giving him the Intercontinental title, being like a workhorse kind of guy. And the commentators, I thought, were definitely like putting him over huge. Like, they were just talking about how he's, he says he's the best technical wrestler. I don't know if I can argue that. He's went toe-to-toe with Austin, and he was brawling with Austin.
Yeah.
And they were really, I feel like, putting him over hard. And I thought even the match spoke to that, because I think it was very one-sided.
I agree.
As far as him.
Well, that's what I meant when I said Billy Gunn was doing a lot of selling.
Yeah.
And it was kind of weird we'll talk about the finish, but to go into the way that they had the finish happen very quickly, and it being for the Intercontinental title, such a big belt.
Yeah.
And which is funny, because before the finish happened, I wrote, because I want to know more about Billy Gunn's title run.
Yeah.
Why did he get the push here? Like, was this his look? Was it him being more muscular and
Billy Gunn?
Yeah, or having the body, or was it just like his success of Road Dogg and DX that they wanted to just try something different? Or where did that come from?
Like they had mentioned, he came back. So after the whole Road Dogg, Mr. Ass, he was injured for a while, rotator cuff, shoulder injury. So he was probably out for a good little while.
Okay.
So I want to say probably like throughout a lot of, maybe 99, he wasn't there.
And actually probably most of 2000, because like I said, I think this pay-per-view was December 10th. So
yeah, so it's very
could have been most of 2000.
Yeah. So I think that when he came back, they were kind of trying to do something different with him.
Yeah.
This new
Change
character being the one.
And was Road Dogg already with R-Truth?
Yeah, Road Dogg was already doing his own thing.
So they weren't going to grab him and pull him back out of that.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I just was more curious why he was getting the singles run, whether it was more of an aesthetic like look to him, or if there was something specific that he had done match wise.
I don't really know if he was getting much of a push. I think he was, not to discredit him, but he was probably more of a placeholder for the Intercontinental belt, to tell you the truth.
And how long did he have it? Like a month?
Nothing memorable to tell you, like, that I can remember.
Okay.
I know Benoit's reign was a little not longer, but he did a little more.
Yeah, we'll get into that. So Chris kind of gets on top of him and gets him, after some, like you said, some kind of dominating work in the match. How long was it?
So this match, it wasn't too long. It was a 10-minute match. 2
Okay.
seconds. 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes. So again, kind of more in the middle, more than the lower ones, and
Yeah.
not quite as 12 or 16.
But I think
It was a good length.
It made sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
They got everything in that they needed to get in. I didn't think it was too long or too short.
No, I agree. Like
Yeah.
I said, I was surprised that I liked this match as much as I did. But yeah, Chris Benoit with the win for the tap out. He kind of held it in after.
Yeah.
They rang the bell and he held it in. He gritted his teeth and he held it in for a while. I wanted to note as well, I know you double checked it. This was the first title belt / IC run for Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
Kind of significant,
Yeah,
being
huge.
that he was a future world champion.
Yeah.
4 years later.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But
Anyway.
no, I wanted to the selling of, I'm not gonna, not because I'm a huge fan,
Yeah.
but Billy Gunn, that selling, man, I remember this getting me as a kid. Like I remember thinking, and I don't know if it's true. I'd have to look into that. But like, did he actually get hurt after this? Like I was bought in about his knee, and I don't know
Really?
if it's because when he took that dragon screw that he kind of yelled out.
I
"Oh,
must
shit,"
have.
or something.
When you made the comment, sorry to get so loud there, guys, but yeah.
Like he had me. I remember that clearly about this match. His knee being a.
Okay,
Big
because I know when you're talking about when he yelled those shit, because I was looking down writing something about the match and you said like, did you hear him? And I was
Yeah.
like, I heard him, but I didn't see it. So was it like you said, it was a knee
Yeah, it was like
kind
a
of
dragon screw.
dragon?
Towards- yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it definitely is the type of move that
Yeah.
could hurt,
Yeah.
be a shoot hurt. But I thought it was a decent match, like I said enough times, and,
Yeah.
and we'll go on to the next thing. Shout out to Billy. I'll give him a little
The
more
one.
credit. The one. He's not the one and only Ricochet.
Yeah, of course, because it's me, the one, Donald Vaughn.
Yeah,
So,
the only one, Donovan. But yeah, so next segment, again, like I said, peppered kind of throughout the entire show. We have Steve Austin with JR. And I like that they chose JR.
Sorry, I got to do it again, but I need a fucking round of applause for my boy Stone Cold. And I'm going to ask for this maybe another time because, man, shout out to the promos of the night.
Yeah, I told you it was a good idea.
Shit.
You really build up for a match when it's a 6-man match, so you have the opportunity to do 6 promos peppered throughout the show.
These were well
Or
placed.
spread out. Oh, they were definitely well placed, and there's another one.
Yeah, no, that's
We'll
what
talk about
later. I'm probably
after.
going to need
Another applause.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't even know where to start. He basically said he was pissed off, he was nervous. And yeah, I've been sitting around all fucking day waiting to have this match. I've been drinking coffee. I like the little touch. I don't know if this was something intentional that they did, but Stone Cold having a little fucking 5 o'clock shadow going on the sides there, and I don't know if he shaved it before the match. I didn't pay attention.
Yeah.
He might have, but because this could have been filmed
Who knows?
the day before.
Yeah.
But I like the touch
For sure.
Stone Cold having a little bit of the beard, because you don't ever see that. And it wasn't a beard, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, he drinking all coffee all day and he wants to fucking go to the match.
Oh,
so
man.
I don't know.
He's just
The
there's
goat.
not much. There's not
Yeah,
much
there's-
more to say. It was wicked. I was dying the whole promo
Yeah.
just because, like you said, it's his words. You can tell.
And that's something, I'll say it now. We have one more of these, like I said a million times, peppered in, sprinkled in, whatever you want to say,
Yeah.
cooking analogy. But it was the difference between Stone Cold's promo and The Rock's promo, which we'll talk about after the next match. Totally different. I'm not saying one is completely better than the other one, or The Rock's promo is not so good or Stone Cold's is very good, but I just think that, like what you just said that I mentioned, Stone Cold talking in his own words is something you can notice.
Yeah, no.
And I don't know if that's from me listening to his podcast and stuff like that and knowing how he speaks on a regular basis, but this just sounded like Stone Cold.
Yeah.
This didn't sound like something that somebody gave him or even something that he came up with prior. I felt like he was just speaking from the heart, speaking from the mind. He knows what to say and what not to say, and if he gets caught in the weeds, he'll figure it out there.
Yeah.
And I like that. We
No,
don't
for
get
sure.
enough, again, the statement of this show so far, this look back, we don't get enough of it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, move
No.
on.
Yeah,
Next on up. Do you remember?
Is it the women's title?
It is.
It's a very
It is-
quick one.
Yeah, the women's triple threat match. I wouldn't be.
You were shouting out Lita. I'm shouting out Trish.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say I think that's my my string through this entire show so far is shouting out the women all looking great on this show. But yeah, Trish too. Good for her, and Molly Holly. Like I said, I don't remember her with the blonde hair. I just remember her more with the shaved hair.
Yeah, I totally forgot about
So-
this version of her
Mm-hmm.
until seeing it now.
And Ivory, like we talked about, she knows her character perfectly.
Oh, yeah,
and she
great.
played it perfectly in this match. I didn't write a lot. It wasn't very long.
No.
But I'm not just saying this because they're women, but they looked very flexible.
Yeah.
In this match. And I don't know, like, it's not something you watch wrestling and you're like, oh, they're flexible.
Yeah.
But I just noticed flexibility was there in this match, and it's something to point out for sure. Like you said, like I said, Trish was looking awesome. The match was pretty fast-paced. Like, a lot of matches back then were. They usually got to quick starts. I feel like at this time they didn't do as much, not lockups, but slow starts. I feel like matches back in the Attitude Era started quickly with a flurry of punches and that kind of stuff, more of a fight.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, quick finish. It was kind of weird. Do you want to explain? Do you remember a lot of the finish?
I just remember it happening very quick, very abrupt. Like.
So I think, if I'm correct, and people can totally write us in the comments if we get this wrong, but I think Molly Holly hit Trish with a finisher, and then Ivory came in and...
Oh, yeah, she tossed her out. Yes, that was it.
She threw Molly out and then jumped on top of Trish, and that was pretty much it. 1, 2, 3. I thought maybe we would get some sort of... mashup with China.
Oh, yeah.
As well, maybe coming out and scaring her away. But I don't know. Kind of give me some thoughts on the return of APA after the end of this match. Because we had Test and Albert kind of come out and attack Trish.
No, they were with Trish.
Oh, they were with Trish. Sorry. They were going to attack who? Molly? It was Molly, because Molly walked away
and then Crash came out.
Got you. So Crash Holly came out kind of like you mentioned, because they were a family of some kind.
Related, yeah.
So Cousins. So he was the smaller guy standing up to Test and Albert, and then we got the APA with the return. You said they had been away.
Yeah, because in storyline, Test and Albert had taken out the APA, and I don't know if you noticed Test and Albert's shirts.
Yeah, they were wearing the APA.
It was like a mockery.
Oh, see, I didn't realize that it was like a mockery, but I
taking over their business of protecting people and getting paid, and they used to do segments like backstage like them.
Yeah,
just kind of. I don't think they were gone. I don't think they were gone very long, but they were gone for a little bit of time, enough for the fans to miss them, because I think they got a good reaction, which I noticed right away. Like, the fans seemed pretty happy to have the APA. I noticed the reaction right away.
Yeah, I that was the only other thing I wanted to ask you. Did you like this? Were you a fan of it back then, and do you think it was a good decision now?
What about the...
Just having this be at the end of the women's title match, and in my opinion, kind of take away from the women's title?
Yeah, because the match was very underwhelming. So, like, I thought this kind of... It brought people to their feet. I feel like people didn't...
But do you think if the match was better and they didn't have the APA come out, that would have been better in the long run? Or even for the time?
If the match was a little longer and better...
Like, if they used the time that they spent with Test and Albert doing all their fucking bullshit and gave the time to the women...
Yeah, it wouldn't have added too much on, so I can't say that it would have made a huge difference.
Okay.
Because it's not like they, Test and Albert got out there and started talking or even...
Yeah, they was kind of just a bounce off the ropes, yeah.
Boom.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Overall, I thought it was okay, but it was just a weird finish.
Yeah, it was very quick.
Mm-hmm. After that, we went straight into more
2 minutes and 13 seconds.
Oh, thanks again for keeping me good on that tick, tick, tick. We got to get that fucking sound effects machine going for you. We got to get that sound effect. It's coming. It's coming, folks.
Yeah.
But, so like I said, they went to more Hell in a Cell flashback footage. That was kind of, again, all throughout the night. They were showing, the only 3 matches, the Taker Shawn, the Taker Foley, and the Foley Triple H, they were showing those throughout the night.
Yeah. I
think the Foley Foley Triple H was at No Way Out?
Yeah, it was at No Way Out.
Okay. And then they said it was in February, so it was about 10 months before this pay-per-view. But before we go into the main event, we had one more of these segments that I mentioned earlier. We had The Rock backstage doing his thing. I didn't write anything else. I just wrote Rocky doing his thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And anybody knows, if you're listening to this and if you're this far in, thanks again for checking it out. But Rock doing Rock.
Yeah, very animated.
Animated. Kind of your thoughts on it, and did you have kind of a rebuttal or a comment back on what I said about Stone Cold and maybe how, what do you prefer out of these 2 promos that we got tonight? Because I felt like they were very different, but they were both very in their ballpark. I don't know what the word would be.
It's classic of them both.
For each of them. It's not like either one of them was trying to do something that they're not used to or should be doing.
They know they stuck to their guns always, I feel like, with their shit. I don't think I have a preference. I enjoyed both equally. I love the fact that The Rock takes those little pauses and lets the crowd, like, that's what I said. I was like, that's when I said it to you. I'm like, this guy just runs shit. Like,
he just knows. And when he kind of
takes-
threw his hand up and took the words out of the announcer, I don't know what.
Yeah.
I wish I could show you visually what I'm doing, but he kind of just sucked the words out with his hand.
Yeah, and those little pauses in between, letting the crowd chant for him, and
Yeah.
the crowd playing along. They always want to, crowd participation is huge in any.
And like you said, classic Rocky, but doing his thing. And these, again, like we both said, perfectly placed throughout the entire show, wanting you to see more. Not all the same.
Yeah.
Stone Cold's being with JR. We had some stuff with Lillian. We had another one with Michael Cole, I believe.
Well, and Triple H's was just him and Stephanie talking.
Triple H's was just him and
Us
Stephanie
getting that
talking.
that
And
was
then we
cool.
had the very cool one with Undertaker in the Hell in a Cell
Yeah.
itself, kind of
They're all
describing
very
all his...
different,
Yeah, very different. They were really good.
Yeah.
Do you want to get to the main event?
Yeah, let's get to that.
Rakishi on the edge. You can see the end of the world from here. Don't. Oh, no, Kane. Oh, my God. Don't do it, Undertaker.
So should we get into it?
People screaming.
Oh, my God.
In the crowd, there's like some girl.
So, yeah, main event.
That's a fucking. Oh, Jesus.
This is kind of why we're here.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
I guess we haven't really talked about it on the show, but the main reason we're doing this look back, again, as I always say, thanks again for joining us this long. If you're in at PW Lookback, check it out. But the main reason we're doing this show specifically is because of Hell in a Cell being this month. And we kind of want to just, talk about Hell in a Cell specifically. We're going to maybe try and do Hell in a Cell actual pay-per-view.
Yeah. Maybe
We'll see. I don't want to give away because it might change. But, yeah, so I don't know. I thought it'd be good to start it with that going into this match. Like I said at the beginning of the show, this was the first ever 6-man... Oh, was it called an Armageddon Hell in a Cell match? Or is it just because it was at Armageddon?
It was just at Armageddon, yeah.
I think the reason I thought that was because in all the video games, if you do a 6-man Hell in a Cell, it's called an Armageddon Hell in a Cell.
Oh, really?
Yeah, or at least it was in the old games. I don't know if it's like that in the current 2K ones, but it was back in the day. So, yeah, I don't know. But, where do you want to start? There's a lot to talk about in the match. I wrote down some, but I also told you, I think it was tougher for me because there was so much going on. So I was trying to not only take notes, watch the show and experience the whole match itself, and also remember everything. But it was amazing. It was just chaotic, and there was stuff all over the place.
Yeah. Which maybe, I don't know if that's why I like this match so much, because I'm a big fan of the whole... As much as I love a good technical match, I love a good just brawl, hardcore, crazy, chaotic shit everywhere.
Yeah.
Especially with the star power we had in this match. Like, all these guys, man. Huge.
Yeah, it's good that you brought it up, but we'll definitely... I guess we'll talk about all of them. So
yeah.
it's...
Well, I want to kind of get into the build, I guess, of the match, because I don't know...
Yeah, definitely. I was going to say, and I say definitely too much, but go into it and kind of... Well, not only give the listeners a take on everybody that's in the match, but kind of talk about the build to it, because, like I said, I have some written down, but I want to get more your perspective because you've seen this match so many times.
Yeah, so this is the Don's take.
Oh, yeah.
For the evening.
What's the song?
No, that's for something else.
Okay.
We're saving that.
Okay.
But this is Don's take.
Don's take.
On the 6-man main event of Armageddon. So, I love the fact...
Before you start...
Yeah.
Since it's kind of a theme of the show, we'll give an applause to the main event of the evening, and this was definitely
and everybody in it.
Yeah,
great job
to everybody. But yeah, continue.
But yes, I love the fact that it wasn't just let's take the top 6 guys in the company and put them in the fucking title match. These guys all interacted throughout the year, and there was storylines building up. And at the beginning, if you notice, everyone kind of goes for their man. And that was the storylines that had built. So you had this whole storyline between The Rock and Rakishi, which tied into the Austin Triple H stuff. So you had Rock and Rakishi, they had a feud. You had Triple H and Austin, who had a feud. You had Angle and Undertaker, who had a feud because
at one point, yeah.
Just a month before this, Undertaker kind of got screwed out of the title in a singles match.
Oh.
So he was already kind of going for the belt and had been screwed by Kurt before. And then you had the whole storyline where Austin got run over about a year ago, and then you didn't know who did it, and the fingers were always kind of pointed towards Triple H, but Rikishi was the hidden man. Rikishi was actually the driver assisting Triple H and taking out Stone Cold.
Really?
So that's where this whole alliance came from.
Yeah, they did sorry to cut you off. They did a pretty decent job of kind of giving you a rough sum of everything that went down before the match, but continue, sorry.
No. Yeah, so that, Rikishi and Triple H had this alliance because Triple H wanted to take out Austin because, Austin was the top guy. And in order for Triple H caring about the belt so much, he was willing to fucking run over a guy with a car.
Wow.
So that was another thing.
Was that before or after he had been dropped off the forklift?
That was before he was dropped off.
Okay.
That was
Austin getting back at him.
That was a great match, though, too. Yeah, that was
a match.
Yeah, it was like at the end of a
Oh, okay. See, I always thought that was more of like a Monday Night Raw. Fill the Corvette with concrete.
They ended a pay-per-view
type
like
of thing.
that, surprisingly.
Wow.
They ended a pay-per-view with Triple H getting dropped off of work.
Holy crap. That's pretty intense. But yeah.
So then, then the whole thing with Rikishi used to say to The Rock, I took out Austin for you. He's like, I did it for you. You're my cousin. He's like, I did it for you. I made room for you at the top. But really, he kind of did it for Triple H, too.
Yeah.
But he was trying to play that he did it for The Rock, and The Rock's like, what the fuck? Why would you? I didn't ask you to do that. I don't ask you for anything. And they had matches, too. So all these guys had tied-in matches. And obviously, you've seen Triple H and The Rock, The Rock eyeing Triple H because they're, these guys basically ran the company. When Austin was gone for that time, when he was injured, who was in the main event?
Was this with a neck injury?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, it was Undertaker, right? It was kind of in that top, and The Rock?
The Rock, yeah. So, that's what I mean. All these guys mesh it.
Yeah, it's crazy how well of a...
The story.
Not to take away from current day stuff, but this is like deep.
Well planned.
Like,
yeah, that's what I mean.
Like Game of Thrones fucking
yeah.
intertwined stories. And this guy's interacted with him because of what happened in the past. And oh my God, he's running into him now. And what are they going to... Yeah, I definitely see what you mean. And they did a great job of that.
Yeah. So yeah, I love the fact, that's how they started the match. Each guy going after their rival.
Yeah, and not that they've... like you mentioned, a lot of them had already had matches, but I wrote this down as kind of my own little side comment. It's kind of a lot of dream matches all in one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if they had already happened in the sense like, okay, it is not a dream that you're dreaming of, but it was a dream match or it's two big guys. And I don't know, to have all those guys kind of switching, and it's not like they were fighting the same people the whole match.
Yeah, no.
So it was pretty cool. It started pretty quick. I know you made it, obviously it started quick. But you made a comment about Kurt Angle being a rookie champ and kind of how he was the youngest guy out of all... Not the youngest guy. He might have been the youngest guy, but not what you meant. The youngest in the company.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned earlier with him killing it in the backstage promo and being so new to the business at this time. It was kind of cool to see him be the champion, too.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Going in. And it was just a crazy match. The start was what? So they had the heels all come in first.
Yep. So we had Rikishi or Triple H, I believe.
Triple H, Rikishi, and then Kurt was kind of reluctant to get in.
Yeah, he kind of he was sticking around the edge. He didn't want to get in there.
We waited, then we had Undertaker come out. Shout out to his music. I know you were a big fan that didn't get dubbed over.
Yeah, the Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
And then what about Undertaker just walking in no fear, which is to be expected, from him.
Yeah.
Walking in there no fear. Almost.
Oh, not at all, yeah.
The refs were trying to keep him away from Triple H and Rikishi, and he swings at the ref.
I feel like that's a different... Like, Dead Man wouldn't do that.
Yeah, no.
That's badass.
Yeah, he's
Undertaker style.
Yeah, more out there. The Rock walking in there confidently.
Yeah,
getting on the top rope.
Eyeing out Triple H.
Looking right through him. Like, it was wicked. Because their history's there. Like, they were feuding all previous year and earlier in the year 2000.
Yeah.
And then the man Stone Cold himself, walking out there how he does with that Austin swag, fakes the entrance into the cage and goes right for Kurt Angle.
Yeah, I love the fake, man. He literally juked him head
great.
Fake into the cage and then runs right at Angle. That was awesome.
And then we started and we had Austin kind of toss him in and the refs locked up the cage but right away Austin goes for Triple H because that's the man who tried to take him out
with the car.
Yeah. And then we had Taker and Angle going at it. And we had The Rock and Rikishi going at it. So everyone, like I said, everyone was going after their respective rival.
Yeah, which, like you said, was key because that was in the build.
Yeah.
I had some more of my random questions that I always like to sprinkle in.
Yeah, for sure.
A few. This one has kind of become more consistent with any major match that we talk about. But did you have a favorite in this match out of these 6 guys? And then on top of that, who did you want to win at the time? Do you remember watching this? I don't know whether it was watching it back or watching it live. Was there a specific person that you had kind of wanted to win?
Well, as far as having having a favorite, that's a tough question. I don't know if I can answer that.
Yeah, you're talking 6 of maybe the biggest guys to ever be in the company.
So,
I trust me, I understand. It's not like I'm putting you on the spot and I expect a definitive answer.
Yeah, no, I can't. I really couldn't. I'm a huge fan of all those guys, especially, all of them anyway. But yeah. As far as who I wanted to win, honestly, I remember being very surprised that Kurt Angle did win, because he was the last guy. Rikishi being an underdog as well, obviously never having the title.
Yeah.
But I think even at the time, Rikishi was still considered, like
he
could win. Like he could win.
Well, he definitely was believable in the match.
And he was in a huge storyline, like where he fucking ran over Austin with Triple H and took out The Rock earlier on. So, I remember just thinking to myself, like, Kurt Angle, there's no way that he's going to survive this, But I remember I didn't really have a particular guy I wanted to win, because I was still actually like a Kurt Angle fan. I just always liked him as a wrestler.
Yeah.
But I was just very surprised that he did win.
It was definitely unexpected, and we'll get into it.
It was kind of the theme of his title reign, though, just squeaking out. So I did want to comment on that. Like
even when he won the belt, was that not a...
Yeah, it was kind of screwy. He got help, and...
Yeah.
So as much as he had that legitimacy as far as like in-ring ability goes, from like belt to belt, he always kind of just, his first title reign, he always just kind of squeaked through and was able to retain like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I've always been a huge fan of Kurt, we've talked about on the lookbacks. I was kind of more a fan of his later stuff. But before we go into more of the match, Kurt's gear. I know we're big gear guys and we haven't got our gear sound effect yet, but what was that about, man? It looked like pajamas for a little kid. Like what he was wearing. Not in the sense of pants and stuff.
Because it's like when you brought it up, I was dying, because like I always kind of liked it.
That specific
like it's not like it was my favorite, but I didn't mind it. Like I just thought it was different from what he usually rocked. Like I got it because it was like the American colors of the stars, and the white was just, I think the white was just more to make it pop.
Yeah.
And it definitely stood out, like you said, the black, what did you call them? Because all the guys pretty much wore black, everyone else in the match.
Oh, yeah, the Black Trunks crew, or black, whatever it was. There was you had Rakishi, Triple H, The Rock, and Stone Cold. They're all literally wearing black trunks.
And then Undertaker was wearing all black, too.
Yeah, so it was nice to have something be different. But
Pajama Kurt.
On top of what you said, because it was different for Kurt, I wrote, was that normal? Like, so that gear wasn't, like, you had never seen that at this time?
No, I think that's the first time he wore it. And I do remember him kind of, not maybe that exact one, but something very similar with the white more so.
Yeah.
He might have worn it a couple more times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because, I was curious, and I was thinking maybe that this is just me looking back like we do and thinking that it's odd. Meanwhile, it fit in with typical gear. But, so they were all over the outside of the ring there at the beginning.
Yeah.
Not outside of the cage, but outside of the ring. They all kind of made their way back in, and it was too much to happening too quickly to write. But essentially, we got a DDT from The Rock, an angle slam from Kurt Angle, a stunner from Stone Cold, and a choke slam from Undertaker. All within maybe a minute.
Yeah.
And that was cool to see. I can't, like I said, I wasn't quick enough to write down who was giving each move to who. Yeah. But I know all 5 of those moves were done, and that was kind of cool. Everyone at this point was back in the ring, and then we had... We had Vince coming out with the big flatbed truck.
Yeah.
Kind of going back to what he had said earlier in the night and just wanting to put an end to this match and not have this match go through. He backed it out there. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Like, I always wondered, because like I said, I've obviously seen clips of this match and the clip of what we showed at the beginning of this segment, but I always wondered how that truck got there, for one. I was thinking it was going to be in somebody's entrance, and then when that didn't happen, I kind of forgot about it, to be honest. But still, he brought the truck out. Him, Pat Patterson, and Gerald Briscoe, like you said, they backed it in, and Vince
ripped off the door first.
Yeah, they ripped the door off. Did they do that with the truck?
Yeah.
Okay, because I didn't see if somebody
he put the chain, and it was a quick,
just a quick pull, and it came right off. Okay.
And then they tried to
get the whole. He's like, take the whole thing down. We want it down. We want. This is my Vince impression, by the way. But take the whole thing down. We want to take the cage down. Pull it down. This is a yeah. I don't know. It basically you had Mick Foley come out as soon as this happened. There wasn't much.
I like this little interaction.
Same, and it added more to the match because you can only have so much
chaos.
6 guys chaos. Exactly, perfect word. Throwing each other around. But Mick Foley comes out and he punched out Pat P and Gerald Briscoe, and then Vince, he kind of looked over at Vince, and Vince had the cartoon character that was beady eyes, and then Mick
Foley like pointing at him and like kind of backing him up. It was very
well. Yeah, he pointed at him. Vince kind of started to back up, and he backed himself right into the security. And Foley said, "Take him out of here." And then we had, "This is my company. I own all of this." And I love how they. I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but the way they dragged him into the darkness, and you couldn't see him anymore, and like the camera stuck with him. It wasn't like they were 30, 40 feet away; they were 5, 10 feet away from him, and they pulled him right into the darkness. Yeah. I thought that was really cool. But we had Stone Cold, because he made his way back out, right, of the cage now that the door was open. I think Triple H scurried away.
Yeah, well, Triple H was trying to get the hell out of there because, let's speak, before this, he was getting the piss beat out of him from Austin.
Yeah.
Because Austin was, remember, dragging his face across the entire cage.
Oh, yeah, I'm happy you brought that up.
Cut him open.
He dragged him around almost the entire, he walked around Kurt Angle.
That was hilarious, too.
And he was rubbing his head, man, hard. Fuck, I wouldn't want to do that.
Undertaker had a little moment where he kind of was getting at Triple H before they went out, too.
Yeah, like I said, there was... I almost wish we could watch the match again before we look back at this one, because there was so much going on that it was just chaos, and it was like you said, chaos was the perfect word. It was an amazing match. But, Triple H was trying to scurry away. Stone Cold chased him out.
Came right after
and
him.
Absolutely got him with a hell of a clothesline behind the truck.
Oh, yeah.
And then they kept fighting all the way kind of towards the cars.
Yep.
Stone Cold grabbed the camera.
Oh, this was wicked.
Juiced Triple H. Hit him really hard in the head with the camera. They showed that view, which was kind of cool.
Awesome, yeah, because you never see that.
No. And then, I don't know what happened, but I know Rock made his way over there.
Everybody eventually kind of made their way there. Yeah,
all were up there. But then the next thing I had written down was Triple H giving, because they cut to it quickly. There was something going on with Kane or something, and then they cut right to Triple H, and it was right before he delivered the pedigree to the Rock on the top of the car. Pretty devastating.
Yeah. And that busted open the Rock. Like I said, by the end of it, I believe everyone was busted.
Hepatitis everywhere.
Maybe. I think the Undertaker didn't bleed.
I think that's the theme of the show. Is that would not happen nowadays either.
Yeah.
There's no way. I mean, because nowadays the only time you're really getting blood is if it's an accident.
Yeah.
Which still happens from time to time, but there's no way they would have all 6 guys at the same time. But, so we had Kurt throw Steve Austin. I think that's how Stone Cold got away from The Rock and Triple H, or Triple H. Kurt threw him into a glass window.
Oh, no, that was Triple H. Triple H threw him into the window.
Oh, Triple H threw him into the window. Okay, my bad. And then Kurt got thrown into a different window, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. So Stone Cold, again, like you said, he was bloodied from that.
What about the sling from
Go
Austin?
for it, man. Like I said, I only had so much written down, so if there's anything I'm not saying...
Well, you're famous, the move you like,
where
he got Triple H.
I have it written down too, you're right.
Yeah.
Unreal Catapult.
Yeah, that's what it was, Catapult, yes.
By Stone Cold to Triple H. It was amazing. And this is a move, I think, I don't want to go into it too much because, I don't know, we want to keep the show respectable here, but not, respectable length. And it's just a move that you really got to buy into. It's not a move that, like if somebody who's a non-wrestling fan will see that move and be like, oh, well, that wasn't real. It's like, well, yeah, none of it is. I don't watch this because it's real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you buy into the moves and you can buy in. I think that's just the best word to describe it, because Triple H is doing 90% of the work there. Stone Cold is falling back.
Yeah.
Triple H is jumping, lands, sorry for the clap, lands right on the car.
It was great.
It was. It was great. And there was a lot of fucking headshots in this match too. Again, not something you'd see nowadays.
That one later. We'll get to that a little later. But Austin with the barrel. He had Triple H in the car, and he picked up a barrel and
almost fell over. Yeah,
Austin just kills me.
Yeah. I think that was a combination of either the barrel being a little heavier than he was expecting, and him being a little more tired than he thought he was.
Yeah.
But so we make our way back to the cage. More or less, everybody slowly makes their way back to the cage. I think Undertaker got thrown into a car. Undertaker
was kicking a lot of ass in that aisleway, though. He was kind of going at Angle and Rock and Rakishi.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, to be completely honest with you. yeah, so we had Austin and Triple H climb the cage.
Yeah, well, so first we had Triple H climbing the cage to kind of get away from Austin.
Again, still trying to scurry
and
away, get away.
He was kind of kicking him, and then Austin backed off, and he's like, you know what? I got an idea. So Austin runs over to the other side of the cage.
Beats him up there.
Starts climbing up, the other side. So Triple H had no idea. He was kind of looking down, like, where did Austin go? And Austin crept up. He was now on top of the cage. They're both up there going at it. But then meanwhile, back on the ground here, we got the Undertaker and fucking Kurt Angle. I wanted to talk about this for a second. Undertaker and Kurt Angle.
Oh, yeah.
By the announcer booth
that
area.
Headshot chair.
Well, we had Undertaker take this microphone, bash Kurt Angle on the head a couple of times, like straight on the head.
Yeah, this was kind of right near JR and King.
And then wrap the mic cord around his neck.
Oh my God,
and
I'm so happy you brought
the look
this up.
on his face. He's
yanking it. I swear, dude, I'm telling you, I swear I saw Kurt tap him and say, "Hey, whoa, that's good. I think you're getting the point across there, Mark."
Shout out to the fucking Undertaker. He was sick. He kicked ass.
Vicious, man. And this character version of him, I want to go back and look back at more.
Oh yeah.
American Badass Undertaker. It's cool.
So he was doing, and then he took the chair, that hellacious fucking chair shot to Kurt Angle right in the head.
On the side of the ring before
the
top of the ring, which we'll get to. But like you said, Austin surprised Triple H up there. They were fighting for a bit. Undertaker made his way up top of the cage.
I think Kurt got up there to get away from Undertaker.
He climbed up, and then Undertaker chased him up?
Yeah.
Okay, so then did Kurt get involved with Austin and Triple H?
Yeah, and then we had everyone, the four men, Taker. We had Rock and Rikishi in the ring going at it.
Yep.
And then we had Austin.
Because The Rock never came up.
The Rock never came up yet.
Yeah.
Austin, Triple H, Kurt, and Taker all going at it on top of the cage, going at each other type of thing. And then Triple H, as soon as he got the opportunity, was getting the fuck out of there. Because I think he probably realized when the Undertaker came up, he's like, I'm not sticking around for that.
Total side note, but has Rock ever been to the top of the cage?
He's never really. This is probably his first and only Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, I don't know why, and I don't mean to bash The Rock, but I feel like he had something to do with that.
Yeah, he didn't want to go up there.
He's like, I'm not.
I'm okay.
I'm not going up there.
I'll do my.
I honestly think
he's like, I'm
the type of dude that would just be like, no, I think there's
whatever.
6 of us in here. I don't need to go up there. Nothing against him. I don't know. That was definitely not.
Definitely done by design for sure.
Yeah, but his design.
Yeah, his design.
That's what I'm saying.
Shout out to The Rock.
He's not dumb. How about the random fucking WWE employee throwing the chair up to Undertaker at the top of the cell?
Well, no, okay,
and it missed like 3 times.
Undertaker yelled at him, and shout out to fucking JR, because he just knows and he makes up for little shit. If people fuck up, he fixes it. He does his job very well.
Yeah.
And he was saying, the Undertaker kind of yelled at the guy, I'm gonna take your head off if you don't give me that fucking chair.
So he turned it into storyline.
Yeah. So JR, like, fuck. That's good shit.
Oh, yeah. JR points out those little things like that all the time. It's great.
So then he had the chair up there, and what the fuck?
The headshot on Kurt Angle? Is that what you're referring to, maybe?
Yeah.
Fuck me is right. Shit. Yeah, I fuck.
Well, because he had it, I know you guys can't see me, but above his head for a few seconds, like he was winding up.
Oh, and Kurt was on his knees, was he not? I don't even think Kurt was standing, so he had the full momentum of just coming straight down on the top of his fucking head.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. Shout out to Kurt Angle, man. Fuck. Maybe there's a reason that you're not the best GM nowadays. Fucking a lot of headshots over the days. I love you.
Oh, my
but
gosh.
You need some work on Raw. Yeah, I don't know. I just had stupid headshots and basically that these guys are fucked, man. Like, this match was insane.
Oh, yeah.
Should we go to the highlight, kind of the way we started the segment?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Probably the most memorable moment of
everybody else got
this
down,
match.
And then we had Rakishi get up.
Yes.
To get away from The Rock.
Exactly. So he climbed up there. Everybody else was kind of getting down, and Undertaker was still up there. Why don't you take it away?
Well, then we had the Undertaker kind of just coming right for Rakishi. Started throwing punches. I think Rakishi got the chair, and Rakishi kind of got a bit of the Undertaker. I remember him delivering some shots. Well, Kurt was still up there.
Yeah.
Rakishi gave some shots to Kurt, to Undertaker. Kurt got out of there. He didn't want no part of that.
And then he was trying to walk away because I actually noticed
Yep.
Rikishi walking
on the beams.
Yeah,
I noticed that.
He wasn't walking on the middle.
He's a big boy.
He is a big guy. I'm sure he didn't want to take any extra risk,
Yeah.
especially knowing what he needed to do
Yeah.
next. Plus, fuck falling through that cage.
Jesus.
I'm not. Fuck me. But yeah, so they made their way to the edge of the cage, kind of facing the
aisleway,
the aisleway, the ramp.
Where the truck
the Jumbotron, exactly where the truck was from earlier. They fought for, a few punches here, back and forth, and then Undertaker.
I like the tease of it. But
Same.
He gave him a few shots. He kind of wobbled. A few shots wobbled, and then
The camera zoomed out a little bit just to kind of give you the nudge, like, hey, don't forget about that.
the famous Undertaker slap when he locked on the choke slam.
Which we talk about a lot on the lookbacks.
Yeah.
The old slap to the neck before the choke slam.
And then he just launched.
Yeah, Rakishi off the top of the fucking cell straight into the truck of,
Back of the truck,
what was it? Wood shavings?
Wood chips, yeah.
Wood chips and stuff like that.
And
I don't know.
thud.
Definitely, yeah, the thud. One of the most famous, I would say, moments from all Hell in a Cell matches. I'm sure we'll see clips of that
Oh, yeah.
coming up here in September for WWE Hell in a Cell. I feel like I'm fucking a promoter of WWE Hell in a Cell. What the fuck do I sound like? But yeah,
Paying us guys on the low.
in the WWE universe.
Getting a check.
Yeah.
We're out here trying to get a check. So.
But yeah, so it's one of the more famous Hell in a Cell spots, I would say. It's definitely
yeah.
something that's always stuck out. I saw it, obviously, before seeing this match. This is a clip I've seen. But yeah, so that was it as far as Rakishi was.
And then Taker was spent, so he just kind of fell down. And
fell down
just
at the top, laid at the top of the cage, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had kind of the three big guys, the three biggest, I would say, names in the match.
Yeah.
Not including Kurt Angle. Going at it, you had The Rock and Stone Cold.
Well, first we had the face-off.
Yeah, between The Rock and Stone
the crowd
Cold.
was eating that up.
Oh, I couldn't get over. I was watching this thinking, like, this is fucking lightning in a bottle, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
This is lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
As much as I love wrestling nowadays, I don't know, man. I don't know if you'll ever see something like that again. It's similar to, totally off topic, in Formula One, but Senna and Prost, if anybody knows what I'm talking about. It's like that. It's hard to replicate. Yeah. They're high up there, and lightning in a bottle is the best way to describe it, really. But yeah, so the face-off with them two going back and forth, they had a exchange of punches that are just...
Good. Yeah.
Fuck.
Great.
Fuck, man. Those guys...
Those two, yeah.
Those two, you throw Bret Hart in there, and
Yeah.
there was somebody else we were talking about on a previous look back, I think Undertaker, but the four of them might be the best working punchers
for sure
in the business. But Triple H came in afterwards, after they were fighting a little bit, and kind of...
stuck his nose in.
Yeah.
So Triple H kind of stuck his nose in there.
And then, yeah, I don't know. I got to get this for you, man. Like, that's that. If we're going to have one that fits, there you go. We'll get the sound effects machine for that going. But, yeah, he stuck his nose in and kind of interfered and got the forearm to the back of the head. I can't remember if it was Rock or Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Help me. But, yeah.
Yeah. And
how did we get the finish? I'll let you. I know this was more your match.
Yeah, so, and then we had, it was basically Austin looked like he was going to take it at this point because he had, he gave a stunner, or did The Rock got pedigreed? I believe The Rock got pedigreed by Triple H.
Yeah? Or I think that we got a spine buster from The Rock. I feel like we're all over the place. But again, it's because this match, guys, was
if you see it, you know what we're talking about.
A clusterfuck and a lot to take in at once. But
the pin was on The Rock.
Yes.
Right?
Okay, so he took a
I
pedigree.
believe he took a pedigree.
And then Stone Cold came in and hit him.
He hit Triple H with a stunner.
Exactly. And then everyone was kind of selling, and Kurt Angle, but I feel like Kurt Angle might have taken a move. I feel bad for not remembering it all, but it was kind of just an epic finish between the four of them, and they were all kind of selling.
Everyone was throwing their finishers out there. Like, I know The Rock, he rock bottom Kurt. Triple H probably did a pedigree to Rock.
Yeah.
Austin gave a stunner. Everyone was down.
Exactly. That's kind of what I was getting to, is that they were all on the ground. They were all down selling. They were all, out of action. And then out of nowhere, you just kind of see, was it even a fucking hand? It might have been four fingers.
Yeah,
Excuse me. 4 fingers on top of The Rock. 1, 2, 3. We get Kurt Angle, retaining his WWF championship.
Squeezing by, retaining the title.
Yeah, like you said, kind of the little sneaky wins, right?
Yeah, definitely of his first title run. And,
overall,
it was
one of your favorite Hell in a Cells, if not your favorite, or?
Oh, yeah, it's
you
up there.
prefer the one-on-one stuff?
It's up there. I definitely I probably prefer the one-on-one, but this has, like, it's that nostalgia for me.
For sure. And
like
the fact you've seen it, like you've got the VHS.
Yeah.
Shout out to the VHS player.
Like I said, I like a good chaotic match. Just as much as I love a good technical match, I love a good
chaotic
hardcore.
as well.
Yeah.
No, it was good. I enjoyed it.
Crowd was pissed.
Yeah, that was the last thing I had written down, honestly, about the match. Kurt pins Rocky to out of nowhere, kind of a disgruntled crowd. They didn't look happy. Looked similar to fucking Roman Reigns matches nowadays, but not in the same way.
Yeah.
But in the more of a heel way. But I just noted, I was writing down that the crowd was not that happy. Stone Cold comes in with the stunner. We get this Austin music, and then I wrote stunner happy crowd.
Yeah.
So I guess that was Vince's way, their WWF's way, WWE's way of, getting the finish that they wanted with Kurt to extend his title run, which went on to more stuff that I'm very curious, as I always say, to look back at. I definitely want to look more at Kurt Angle's run with the belt, maybe even see how he lost it. Because of that, I don't know. But yeah, giving the crowd and the audience on TV a little bit of, something nice to see and something that everybody likes, and that's the fucking Stone Cold Stunner.
Yeah.
And then the glass breaking. And
I think the crowd probably felt the same way I did at the time. Like, they didn't expect it. Like, they probably thought there was no way he was walking out. Because the odds were definitely, like, stacked against him. Taker could have pinned Rock. Rock could have pinned Triple H.
Oh, the four of them. That's what I mean. It was great to have the four of them in there.
Yeah.
No discredit to Undertaker or Rakishi, but I think those were the four that the people were focused on the most and thinking maybe that we're going to win, as well as Undertaker and Rakishi.
I'm just saying, like, anyone could have pinned anyone.
So for sure. You meant going into the match.
Oh, yeah.
Not just the four at the end.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, no, I don't know. It was overall a pretty good match. What would you give the star rating of the match? And then I'm kind of curious of your rating of the show.
It's fucking up there, man, for me. And it's not even, like...
Is this the thing we're doing now? How many Meltzer heads are you giving it? How many Meltzers is this match?
Well, I don't know if he'd approve of me liking this match so much. Just 'cause it's not...
well, that's just... I think... remember we were talking about this on our last episode. I think that's maybe going to be our thing. We don't do stars. We do Meltzers.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if he'd like it. So I don't know. Like,
No, but he doesn't have to like it. You're not rating it like how many...
how he would...
Meltzers do you think he would give it?
It's not a Bushi.
It's more just us being fucking idiots and coming up with something other than stars.
Yeah. It's... I don't know. I'd probably just put it right up there, like the highest I could.
4, 5?
Yeah, just not even... It's more so for who's in it.
Star power.
Yeah.
For sure.
More so for who's in it. And just the chaotic craziness that's happening. And the build. Obviously, the fucking build of all of these storylines tying into one big match.
Yeah.
And still having it be for the title.
No, and I think, like you said, the star power was a big part of it. We can kind of go into our closing stuff from the show. I wanted to talk about, there was a major thing.
Yeah.
Not major. I really enjoyed the main event hype all night. The sprinkling in, the peppering in, like I said, of all the different promos and constantly showing us the previous Hell in the Cell matches. It made me want to watch it even more than I did fucking yesterday when we decided we wanted to, or last week when we decided we wanted to look back at this specific pay-per-view. That, I thought it was a solid card. I don't think there was anything on there like some other look-backs that we've looked back at.
Yeah, no, it was good.
Where there was, that one match that was kind of just the dud.
Yeah.
That you wanted to skip 6-man tags and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I said, the simpler times, like I said at the beginning of the show, with a shorter show, it just works. It's, like I said, more like the NXT vibe now. But did you have your... we don't have a song, but...
Moments of the night. It's moments of the night. That's what it is.
That's the song that we were waiting to hear.
There you go.
The memorable moments of the night. Like I say on every show, these are moments that we think about when we watch this show. Stuff that we're going to think about a week, 2 weeks, 1 month, 1 year, 5 years from now. What are the moments from this show that are going to stand out to me and Donovan? Donovan?
Yeah, well, for me, it's definitely, like you touched on it, this is definitely one. The way they did these promos throughout the night.
Yeah.
Having them all be, like, so different, too.
I feel like that's something you maybe picked up on more through recording than watching.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
But no, it's a great thing to bring up because that's not on my list, and I think it should be.
Yeah, the fact, like we said, Taker was in the ring earlier in the day, empty arena, and then Austin was having this one-on-one like conversation with JR, Rock getting an interview, Triple H talking to his wife. They were all just so different, and it was cool to hear everyone's side and reasons going into it.
And they were also different too.
And the second part for me,
like that would be your second memorable. Do you have 3? Do you have 2? Sorry, I just want to get.
I probably got 2 or 3.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So that's definitely a standout portion of the show for me. And then next, probably just the way the build, man, because I'll never forget that, and I still to this day, like I remember
The all 6 guys.
all the different storylines. Like I know each storyline and what was
That's
and the way
something. Yeah.
they tied it in. I don't know if it's classified as really a moment of this.
No, it
night,
definitely
but-
is, man. It's more just something you'll remember. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be like a specific moment in time
Yeah,
that happened on this show. It's more just if I say Armageddon 2000 to you in a year,
yeah. I'm definitely thinking
what's something
of,
that you're
you know,
thinking of
the main event and the story that all tied
around
into
it?
Yeah.
No, and that's something where I think I've appreciated it more through recording than I
Yeah.
did through watching the pay-per-view because I've had you explain kind of some of the ins and outs of that.
And also the one Billy Gunn, his music.
Shout out to his music.
I like
But yeah, so I guess we'll get into mine. I had 3 today. I didn't really have any kind of honorable mentions like I do sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll add one in. I'll take one of yours and throw it in the honorable mentions, and that's just the promos.
Yeah.
Like you said, sprinkled throughout the show. Perfect. And the difference in the promos was a big part of that for me. But number 3 was kind of more of a negative one. I try and mix in one of the 3 to be something that, you know, maybe isn't the best part of the show that you remember.
Yeah.
And I thought there was too much right to censor on this show.
Oh, fuck.
I think that we heard that music too much. I think, was it 3 times?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Maybe, well, if you count the beginning and end of them winning the match.
Well, that too. But I just mean like,
But yeah,
yeah,
no.
there was too much of them on the show, and I wasn't a huge fan of that. But again, I didn't watch it at the time, and maybe that's what they were going for. But maybe with, you know, a heel winning at the end of the night, even though, like we said, we had Stone Cold with the stunner, maybe you shouldn't have had so much other heels going over and being successful.
Mm-hmm.
But it is what it is. It's a small point. The second one I wanted to bring up was kind of similar to the promos, but more, them talking about all the old Hell in a Cell matches.
Oh, yeah.
I really like that they brought up, again, the Taker Shawn, Taker Foley, and Foley and Triple H. This was just really cool. And again, it was only 1 year removed at the time. These were all still fresh in people's minds
For sure,
that were
yeah.
at the show and that were watching it on TV at the time.
Yeah, it's not like we had Hell in a Cell pay-per-views. It was
No.
This was only the fourth
Fourth one,
Yeah.
and they're sticking 6 guys, and the other 3 were fucking brutal,
Yeah.
flaming 2x4s with shit. You know what I mean? Like the fact that I got to see all that
Yeah.
and know that's how it went down. No complaints from this guy. I thought that was awesome. And again, the number 1, it's not going to be hard for anybody to figure out, but for me, it was the star power of the,
yeah.
the main event.
Mhm.
I think if I think back and look back or think back to this show and us recording it, I'm just going to just think about the 6 names
Oh, yeah.
that are in there.
Definitely.
And it sounds bad because I don't want to switch anybody out, but I would say if I had to switch somebody out, and I think it's more just because of where they were after, not so much at the time, would be maybe Rakishi not be there, even though he took that major spot. I don't know why, but I feel like Jericho fits into this match. And if Jericho was in this bunch, that would be perfect.
Yeah.
Again, I know this is a little early in Jericho's
Yeah.
time in WWE, so he hadn't really had any world title runs or anything yet.
Yeah.
And again, I don't want to take Rikishi out, but I just wanted to slip that in there. I
Yeah.
thought Jericho would have been perfect in this.
Oh, no, he
matchup
definitely could
as
have
well.
fit right in, yeah.
But yeah, pretty good, no?
Yeah, I feel like maybe you just found yourself a little bit of a nickname there.
What's that?
Pretty good.
What, Nick? Pretty good salsa?
Pretty good.
Fuck, I say that too much.
PG.
PG. Oh no,
Oh.
no. But
I told you, man, we're out here trying to get a check.
yeah. Oh, hey, this guy's thinking. Maybe we'll get PG going. Yep. I feel it.
That's it.
Overall, man, it was a good show to look back at with you. I always enjoy doing the 2-man booths.
Yeah.
Always fun. Once again, Armageddon 2000. Don't forget to check that show out if you guys didn't already. And we thank you for listening all the way along. You want to get me a maybe how many Meltzers before the end of the show on the whole
For the whole show?
for the whole show, just out of 5.
Like a 3.5.
3.5 Meltsies. Okay, yeah, I think I'd probably agree.
Yeah.
Because the show was solid, but it wasn't above average.
Yeah.
Mainly, but it was solid all the way through. But-
It was no it was no New Japan.
Definitely not. But yeah, so thanks anybody for listening to the show again. Don't forget to check us out on Twitter at PW LookBack, Instagram as well at PW LookBack. The email is prowrestlinglookback@gmail.com. All the videos that we post on YouTube are on prowrestlinglookback.wordpress.com in case you want to go there as well. The YouTube channel is Pro Wrestling Look Back. Anything else?
No, your Twitter.
Yeah, maybe me. Don't forget to check me out on Twitter and Instagram. I'm the same name on both. SCELSA Salsa.
Pretty
Nick,
good.
Pretty Good Salsa. It's a pretty good name. But yeah, I'll give you any Formula One, Star Wars, and basically you're going to get a lot of Pro Wrestling Look Back updates on there as well. So check me out.
And my Twitter, of course, is @NewSchoolMoney. You already know how to spell it. That's my music, just queuing up for you guys. Because I am the one, DONOVAN, signing off, telling everybody out there to stay classy.
I'm Nick.
Pretty fucking good. Stay classy, y'all.
Like to make a blind man see everything you